And you stick him in the background then, Baz. Are we going live?
We're live. Are we live?
No, we just got to go live. Why not?
We're live. No,
We're doing
everybody,
it
yeah.
Everybody loves
been
the
caught
love
short.
hour, so why not?
We've been caught short. There we go.
I didn't realise what the time was. I just went, who we get this gone?
Yeah, it's got 9 o'clock now.
Yeah.
So how are you, Dave? And
Not too bad.
Yeah, I'm good.
Not too bad, Baz.
I'm good.
No,
Excited. When you contacted me and said you were going to do a wrestling stream, I thought, it's my speciality. So I thought, I couldn't wait to get involved, Baz.
Well, that was the thing is we're thinking about doing different things every week, kind of thing, and it's like wrestling. I don't think a lot of folk do wrestling streams, or talk about wrestling kind of thing. And I was like, well, why do we not just do a wrestling one just to see what?
And the thing is with wrestling, it is a big part of. I think personally, for me selfishly, I think it's a big part of the wrestling, big part of the toy community. You know, obviously wrestling toy collecting has a massive audience, doesn't it? So, yeah. It's always relevant to the toys.
You talk about Hasbro's, man. Hasbro's, I grew it away, you grew it away, Dave grew it away, kind of thing. So
yeah,
you kind of know some of the older wrestlers, because I was talking to my dad about this yesterday, actually, when because he come through to change one of my tires, so I couldn't get it off the rim. And we're talking about, I just said tomorrow I'm doing my live stream. It's wrestling one. Is like. I remember like filming Big Daddy, filming Giant Haystacks and all that.
Yeah.
You didn't get wrestlers like that anymore.
Nah. Do you know what, my dad, when we started getting into wrestling as kids, like in the late 80s, early 90s, all my dad used to bang on about was the stuff from the 70s. The stuff that used to be on ITV, the British stuff, and he used to go on about Giant Haystacks, and we were like, yeah, really didn't care about it because obviously we didn't know anything about it. But obviously we forget that there was our dad's generation were massively into that, and it's a shame we haven't really got that British sort of wrestling anymore, have we? So,
even Frank,
there's some British wrestling at Blackpool. Perfect on the things to see. I did Aberdeen a couple of weeks ago, and Grado and Booker T was up there.
Okay.
And there's a wrestling company up there called WZ,
right,
in Scotland. And perfect honest, there's a lot of little independent companies now in the UK, up and down the country, that you just don't hear about or see about because the UK is quite small. You know, it's quite big because WWE came over.
Yeah.
Something them to come over must be something special.
Yeah, the WWE have always catered for the UK audience, and when they did SummerSlam '92 and stuff, which I was lucky enough to go to in the early '90s in '92, we've always been massive wrestling. The UK community's been massively behind it. Do you know what I mean? For years and years and years, there's a big market over here. So, yeah, I can see why they've never ever. WWE have always. How many times a year are they over here? Multiple times.
Well, normally 4 weeks a year, twice a year, just after WrestleMania, just after Survivor Series. And
they do like a Raw from the UK and stuff like that, taping and stuff like that, don't they? So. Evening, Brad.
That's why they are coming back to do a mega pay-per-view sometime, either this year at the end of it or next year.
They've never done a pay-per-view
one of the big four again.
Yeah, I mean SummerSlam '92. So you're talking about that was 30 years ago. This year was the last time that we saw one of the major pay-per-views over here. So would be really good to see that again.
They are thinking about it. I'm just waiting for to see how AEW would actually do in the UK because it's a lot of. It's especially on ITV and ITV4 and now on a Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, and a Friday night.
When you think about it, it's mad that they were able to sell Wembley Stadium out.
Yeah.
In '92, they were able to get 70,000-80,000 people.
And I think it's done 24 hours or something like that.
What's that, mate?
I think it's sold out in less than 24 hours.
Yeah. It was like I say, we managed to get tickets for it, luckily enough, and it was like I remember it like it was yesterday. It was a brilliant day, and I loved it. To be fair,
it's one of the weirdest things. That pay-per-view is the only time in history that the Intercontinental's been the main event.
Yeah,
I know One Night Stand was a European.
It was Bret Hart,
like the Big Four, like you said, the Big Four.
Yeah.
WrestleMania, Rumble, Survivor Series, SummerSlam. It's
So
Bulldog is different, wasn't it?
So it was Bret Hart and Bulldog, and I just think that what they couldn't do is they couldn't obviously have Bulldog just for that one show being in the heavyweight title contention. So so they had to manipulate it. So obviously he was at intercontinental level really, and they wanted to see him obviously win a belt in front of the UK crowd because that's what they thought we wanted to see. Personally, I was just happy to see the Ultimate Warrior live. He fought Macho Man in like the semi-main event, which was a bit of a disappointing one really because the title didn't change hands, did it? Ric Flair and that rule involved in it. So, no, it was good. It was good. I hope we see them days again. But, we were saying earlier, weren't we, off camera, wrestling's, people know my thoughts on.
Same as the old good old days.
Yeah, people know my thoughts on modern wrestling now. So I doubt they wouldn't be able to do an arena show if they did a pay-per-view over here again. They wouldn't be able to do so a stadium.
But it needs to be, honestly, one of the big four or the big five. If it's WWE, they're going to need to do the big five over here. They ain't going to do WrestleMania over here, are they?
No.
Royal Rumble, probably not. You're looking at Survivor Series or SummerSlam.
Yeah, but I don't, David, I personally, unless it was WrestleMania, I think WrestleMania, you could sell a stadium out today. But if you're talking about anything outside of that, then you're looking at an O2, something like that. A big indoor arena, they'd probably sell out. But if like I say, you wouldn't be able to go to a stadium with anything other than WrestleMania in this country, I don't think. I don't think they'd even do a stadium in America outside of WrestleMania. No,
because even at the moment, they're trying to fill the Texas one next week for 2 nights. And I think they're struggling for either the first night or second night.
I wouldn't pay a shilling to go and watch modern wrestling, Dave, to be fair. If you turn around and said to me that a modern wrestling show was happening in my back garden, I don't think I'd even go out and stand out the back doors and watch it, to be fair. That's how strongly I feel about that.
Who's doing it, though, isn't it? And who's on the card?
I just don't think it's got the magic that it used to have, to be fair.
No. Yeah, true. Honestly, back to the old school, the attitude that you can't never beat it ever.
No, it's unbelievable.
Late 90s, early 2000s, that's when modern wrestling was good. Now it's kind of...
Yeah. I personally think the best period of wrestling for me was that 97 to 2000 when the Attitude Era started and it was in full swing and you had the whole, Stone Cold Vince feud was all going on. That for me was obviously
basically the Monday Night Wars when it was at its peak, wasn't it?
Yeah,
and over here you couldn't watch both. You needed to record one.
No, you could, David. So you could watch the first hour of Nitro.
Yeah,
and then you had to switch over. You had to make a decision. And in them days, David, I think if you remember rightly, Sky satellite, you couldn't tape. I'm sure you couldn't tape something on if you were watching another satellite channel.
Yeah, no.
Yeah. I don't think you could record and watch something else at the same time. Yeah. So basically, you was in a real dilemma. So I used to watch Nitro from 9 till 10, and then I'd watch Raw, which I think came on at 10 o'clock. Yeah.
Jonathan's asked, does the WWE have any UK guys or girls due on to push that they could use a UK live show for?
Well, you got female-wise, you got obviously Becky Lynch. I think she's Irish.
Yeah.
Drew
McIntyre's Scottish.
He's Scottish.
Sheamus is Irish. You've got...
what's his name still in it? Who's the Finn Balor? He's Irish.
Irish is Finn Balor.
Is he still in it?
Yeah.
You've also got Paige as well, but I don't know if she still wrestles.
Paige is almost like retired, that sort of stuff. She's from Sheffield. Good movie as well to watch. Fighting with the Family is a damn good movie. The only other person from like Birmingham, England, or the Black Country is a guy called Pete Dunne. But currently, he's called Butch.
Yeah, they changed his name, didn't they? That's creative, isn't it? Call him Butch.
I don't think a lot of the fans. I don't think a lot of his fans.
The biggest star probably they had in the last couple of years was probably English, Scottish wise, was probably Drew McIntyre.
Yeah. So the fact we're on wrestling themed, Barry, you get into wrestling, you become a wrestler. What's your wrestling name?
That's actually quite tough.
Yeah.
I would almost call him the Iron Brood Man.
Yeah. Hey, you could be Braveheart.
Yeah. Iron Brood Braveheart, isn't he?
Barry Braveheart.
Yeah.
Oh, it could work, aye. That could work.
What about
I've
you,
always
David?
been like a Shawn Michaels Triple H guy from day one, to be perfectly honest.
Yeah.
And then back in the old school, probably the Hogan when he started it and that sort of stuff.
So what you call it? What you calling yourself then? What's your wrestling name, David?
Hey.
Yeah. I've stumped you, haven't I? No one ever really thinks about that. Do you know what mine is?
No.
I think I've got it. The Love Hammer. I'm known as the Love Hammer, aren't I? So like, you know, I can only beat the Love Hammer. Yeah.
I could be the DWT, but that's about it. So.
What was that?
The DWT.
Look, you got it. There's nothing wrong with having some initials.
Yeah.
The Chav Fantastic.
So what would you finish your movie then, Love Hammer?
Hammer time.
What do they pull his pants up and like dance and do the worm pants dance and like slap?
I pull the opponent's trousers down, their tights down, and leave them exposed in the middle of the ring, and then it's like then I give them like a Hulk Hogan like atomic leg drop, which is known as the Love Drop. So yeah. So you can tell I thought about this. No, I do like the idea of that though. Do you remember like Undertaker used to put people in like a body bag, and do you remember like Brutus the Barber Beefcake used to cut their hair? Well, mine would be, or $1 Million Man used to stuff money in their mouth when he beat them in the middle of the ring. I like the idea of basically I beat someone, the opponent's unconscious in the middle of the ring, and literally I just pull their tights down and leave them exposed in the middle of the ring.
And put a little hammer in the gob.
Yeah, and hit them around the head with a hammer.
NXT.
Yeah, I like that.
That's about the NXT. So there's the NXT.
I've got some belts. I forget what ones I've got, to be fair, but I have got a few of those titles. I've got a US Championship one, I think. I've got a tag team, an old school tag team one.
Yeah.
And I think I've got an Intercontinental one somewhere as well.
I've got all the way back to the old Eagle one from the old.
I would love
WWE days, the old proper WWF days.
I would love the proper replicas. You know, like the non-toy one, the proper ones.
Perfectly honest, Mr. C. They do a plasticky one, which is very, very good. The other one is like the proper replicas and that sort of stuff, which are, perfectly honest, the cheapest one at the moment is the World Heavyweight Championship.
Yeah.
The old WCW.
Yeah. The big
which
belt.
Is about, if you go to wrestling shop, it's only 90 quid for the proper one.
The thing is, I'd love to buy that, but you'd have to spray paint NWO across it, wouldn't you? You'd have to.
You need to put Jeff Jarrett on it because that's the original one with Jeff Jarrett on the bottom.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll talk about the devil kind of thing we were talking about earlier on. Our other good friend has just popped on as well.
Here we go. I'm surprised he's not been abusive. He'll be watching tonight. I would imagine. I'll be very surprised if Tom doesn't start trying to become abusive towards me. He's normally quite nasty like that. Isn't he?
It's all to do with the act of wrestling, isn't it? You need to go with the act of wrestling to go to get the great prompting, don't you? And to get the comments rolling in and like getting in the picture. And
I saw a comment a minute ago, Barry, just a little while ago about a pile driver as my finisher.
That one.
Yeah, I like that. The Love Driver or the Hammer Driver, it would have to be called. But I do like that.
Just going off subject, guys, for 1 minute. Lobot. I sent out a little transformer thing a couple of weeks ago to the Lobot. He entered the competition. He won it. I sent him off, and he sent me a really amazing little email and said, "Listen, can I actually do something? Pay your postage." Or something like that. And to be perfectly honest, all I could think of, there's a guy called in America called John and his brother. and he's got like terminal cancer, that sort of stuff. He's done a fundraiser for him. The other day, Lobot said, "Can I make a donation to charity or something like that?" So technically, I said to Lobot, "Please help John's brother out," and he did that the other day. So I want to say thank you so much, Lobot. You know, for
fair play, fair play.
You know, absolutely amazing guy. You know, we didn't have to, but something different.
We need more people like Lobot in this world and less people like Vladimir Putin.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
And speaking of this, there's another guy in the wrestling community. I'm hoping he's coming on in a bit. I did send him an invite. He'd love to come on. He goes around conventions with the belts and gives. Takes pictures of the belts with you, the proper ones.
But you get to the real sort of replica belts, yeah.
Oh, we talking about.
I did send him a link. He said he'd love to come on if he could try and make it. He does it for the Warrior Foundation or something. I can't remember. But if he comes on later, we can ask him as well. But
good stuff.
You know, 2 special shout outs to, I say, Lobot, thanks for doing that. And like, I think it's Brad. There he is. I think he's
that one's
Brad. Brad's a good lad. He's a good lad, old Brad.
Yeah, I met him at the NXT. I got a picture of the Intercontinental belt with him and bits.
He's basically said he's got to put his rats to bed. Yeah, so has he got rats? I used to have rats. I used to have rats. Quality pets they are. I think Tom used to have rats as well. Tom Pizarro had some pet rats. I was going to say something controversial. I was going to say, and then he married one. But no,
I don't know about that.
I'm joking, Tom. I'm joking. Joking, Nadine as well. Sorry. Don't be angry with me.
There's Lobo getting back to you, Dave. He says cheers.
Well done, yeah, Lo. But I like the sound of what you did there.
Lobo is awesome.
You know, like other people wouldn't think about it. At least he offered. I said I didn't want anything, but it's like thanks very much, and I, put it across that sort of stuff. So.
See, when you done your Transformer giveaway, Dave, I'm sure it was the same night we had Tom and Big C on.
No, it was Geekology guys, because we did the Star Trek / Transformer night with the Geekology guys.
That's what it was. I've lost track.
You're doing too many guys, aren't you? You guys are a weekly show now.
Yeah,
you're doing it.
You're doing it weekly. Live stream. I said he asked me if he wanted to come on for a bit, so that's what we're doing.
No, fair play. Like I say, it's good stuff, boys.
And perfect. We're going to cover probably a lot more stuff. Like Monday, we got a special one coming up Monday because I've got next week. We've got like a Star Wars Echo based live thing.
Yep.
And basically on Monday, we got a special Q&A because I've got couple of the owners coming on.
Okay.
Q&A, so if anyone's got any questions.
No, I've been obviously seeing it. You've been getting some quality people on over the last few weeks, so it's been good. How did you two team up? How did that happen? How did you two decide to team up and stuff like that and do your live stream?
We both just liked all types of toys and that sort of stuff, and both was posting stuff on Toy Division. Both joined the Toy Division. And he basically just messaged me one night and said, "Do you want to chat off channel, a bits and pieces like Facebook chat?" And that's it. He asked me if we could come on one of the first live streams, and I said, "No, I'll do it with one of our friends first." And then I missed the first 2, and ever since that, I've been on virtually the last.
Now you two are like the duo now, aren't you? You two are like the hosts.
Like, technically, like you and Tomsy.
Yeah.
You and Tomsy are like a married couple.
Yeah, we bicker. Yeah, you two get on a bit better than us.
I don't know. You two are like a special couple, you and Tom.
Yeah.
It's like a wrestling like heaven. You got the Triple H and Stephanie McMahon.
Yeah.
Or you've got the Bella Twins, and you like guys like the Bella Twins. Perfect.
Yeah, we're. I always say me and Tom, we're like a rubbish Ant and Dec.
Yeah.
To be fair, we're like about a crap version of Ant and Dec, I think. But yeah. So. Do you know what I'm itching to show off?
There's great stuff that you got. I'm interested to see what you picked up for whatever you got it for.
Mr. C, show us your love hammer then.
You don't want me to see that, Dave. So basically, something I thought I would never ever own. and I was lucky enough a couple of weeks ago. Once again, you know, I've been bashing him, but through Tom, Tom got an opportunity to obviously pick up some Hasbros.
Is that Tom Bizarro that you're just talking about?
That's
Tom?
what I'm saying. Yeah, so I've been, Tom Pizarro. He's he got an opportunity to pick, and he's enabled me to own something that I thought I would never ever own. And anyone who knows about the Hasbro Green series will know that, you know, for me, it's pretty pathetic that the value of these things for what they are. And I just thought I would never ever own one, to be fair, because of the price of them. But I was lucky enough to pick up a 1, 2, 3 kid. An Evil Crush, all in good condition. An Adam Bomb.
That's a good one.
Yeah,
that's a good one.
I love that. And a Ludwig Borger.
With all the fingers.
No, one missing, David. It's custom. If you're very lucky to find one without a missing finger.
Yeah.
But other than that, he's in lovely condition as well, to be fair. He's just missing a finger. God knows where that finger's gone. But
Maximum the love hammer.
Yeah. So look, you know, another 4 of the Green series that I've managed to get now. So for me, it was a massive thing, guys, because I never actually believed that I would ever invest the money to get them. But, you know, a unique opportunity come up through Tom, which enabled me to get them. So, yeah, I'm really happy with that. And it's the nicest thing Tom's ever done for me, to be fair. Thanks,
I don't know,
Tom.
he sorted actually a couple of weeks ago or months ago. Didn't he sort that? Legion Zoom out. I know they are.
Yeah. I bought that off him. Yeah. They
are quite, you know.
They're pricey now. So you're looking at between 150 to 200 quid for those. So once again, obviously, I bought them off Tom, and I've got those as well now. So cheers, Aaron. Cheers. Like I say, anyone who knows anything about the Hasbros and the prices of the last few years will know that they're crazy prices, and to actually finally get the big hitters, basically the ones where the really cost the real money, I'm happy with that. So, and what a good place to show them off on the wrestling special with you guys. So yeah.
Well, talking about like Hasbro's and the prices and that, we know that the wrestling lost a legend a couple of weeks back.
Yeah.
Do you think his Hasbro figure carded loose? Do you think that's going to shoot price, or do you think?
I think every time, Barry, that someone dies in wrestling, it does have. Sometimes it's major, but it does have an impact. So I remember last year, Paul Orndorff was released in the Legend Series Elites, and all the websites that have that had him available to sell the Legend Series figure of Paul Orndorff, he sat there. He was like a peg warmer. You could have gone on any one of these UK websites that import the figures in, like your Rock and Roll Collectibles and places like that. And he was just on there, sitting on there, reasonably priced. The day after he died, I looked on there because I had the idea. I thought, you know what? This is a trigger for me to get him.
Yeah.
Sold out.
Sold out. We have another guest in the back. So
who we got?
We've got the one and the only. We have the Brad.
Brad.
Gentlemen.
Nice one, Brad. All right, Brad.
How you doing? You all right?
Yeah,
it's nice to finally share a stream with Brad, to be fair.
I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing, mate.
It's probably bad. Probably bad, though, but...
Well, at least you're not getting abused tonight, Big C.
No, exactly.
Right,
exactly.
Yeah, it's all good.
Everyone, what I love about tonight is everyone's nice and friendly. We haven't got any, like, do you know what I mean? We haven't got a niggly individual, have we, digging me out constantly, so...
I don't know, Mr. C. You might come on. He's tempted.
He will come on to give me probably give it to me, to be fair. So don't let him on. Don't let him on. He'll ruin it.
He's up to the guy. So basically, Brad, I was mentioning to you earlier about the Warrior Foundation.
I see. I was on the.
Do you want to explain exactly what you do?
Yeah, so with that, it's just literally like I just wanted to try and combine people's love of wrestling and like the idea of trying to do for charity. So like I called it Little Warriors Foundation. Like I put the feelers out to try and get a name for it. My brother ended up coming back with that to just try and raise money for Great Ormond Street Hospital because everything that was happening at the time, like my daughter when she was born was in Great Ormond Street for a bit. But I was just trying to figure out what was wrong with her, amongst other things. And I thought, you know what? During lockdown of 2020, I ended up trying to start like buying like a few of the kids' belts and stuff.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, like, and then I found it was the Jack's $1 Million Man belt. And then I think it was
because that was a decent belt. That was actually quite a decent. Almost looks from without touching it,
like from the distance, it looked all right.
Yeah,
and then I think it was Rock and Roll Collectibles had the commemorative massive WW belt for sale.
Yeah,
and I was like, oh, do I need it? I don't need it, but I want it, so I bought it. My mate was inquiring about it at first, and I thought, oh, if he don't have it, I'm half tempted. Like it's not like the era or the design that I know from a kid. But if it's cheap, I'll buy it. So I bought it. And then the $1 Million belt come up on sale, so I bought that, like the actual, like the hard, like the proper metal one for the $1 Million championship belt. And then started buying more, and then other people were like, oh, you know, I'd love to get a picture of it. And then just sprung into my head. I thought, oh, combine the two, like try and get people to have pictures of the belt, set up like when I can set up like tombolas and stuff like that. But the plan is, like I say, at Birmingham, I walked around. I thought just see if I can get people's interest in it, sort of thing.
You should have nailed people with the belt, Brad.
Start clunking them on the head.
Yeah, nailed them with it.
But yeah, a few people asked my missus, "Oh, like, what's he walking around with the belts for?" My missus explained it to him. Not much else come of it, but obviously other people talking about it. Obviously, it will drum up some more information. I've had some. I'm not going to pretend like I've not had some silly people in my DMs trying to give me noise saying, oh, like, you just trying to fund your belt collection. It's like, well, if you look in my link tree, mate, there's an actual, like, a link straight to GoFundMe for Great Ormond Street, sort of thing.
People there's a lot of negative people out there, isn't
there? Like, I've tried to
and you know what it is?
Really fun.
Do you know what it is as well? That the people who've got that idea in their head that you're doing that's because they're like that.
Yeah. Honestly, I started to think that that's maybe the case.
It's a reflection of them. Do you know what I mean?
I've spent a silly amount of money, but I've sold a lot of my other collections
to
build up the 6 belts that I've got. I've only got 1, 2, 3, 4 proper replicas. Like, so I've got the classic Eagle one now.
Brad, let's have a look. Wait, can we have a closer look at that, Brad?
Let's chop it down a bit. Hang on. I can't
Brad, last year kindly sent me.
You can't reverse your camera onto it. Making big, Brad. There you go.
Oh, look, that's lovely. Is it heavy, Brad?
Yeah. So this one weighs quite a bit.
Oh, that's lovely. I'd love to own one of them.
That's all metal plating.
Do you know what? I would love it on the. Do you remember the lavender strap that the Ultimate Warrior had when Sergeant Slaughter won it? Do you remember the purpley strap? I'd love one on that.
You can buy it in multiple different coloured straps.
Yeah, I know. You can. The blue, the light blue and stuff. Yeah.
And obviously you've got like the same style but with the scratch logo, which is what my mate's got the scratch logo version. That weighs an absolute ton. Of the Winged Eagle. That's massive. And then I've got when the Rock introduced the scratch logo, like the big WW scratch logo.
The championship on the bottom,
Yeah, so I got
one with the big globe, but it's got a big globe on it, isn't it? It's got a bigger.
No, this one has no globe. It's literally just a massive scratch WW.
The one that the one that was almost like
similar to the one that's going around now.
Yeah, with the sharp W's. Yeah. It was the one with
basically
one on it.
With the Rock introduced, you had the wrestle champion at the bottom or champion at the bottom. Yeah. And they took that off for the second version.
To be fair, Brad was kind enough last year. You sent me a busted up belt, Brad, didn't you? Do you remember?
Yeah.
I haven't fixed
it, and I just thought,
I haven't fixed it. It's still in my cupboard, Brad. I need to fix that up.
It's all good, man. It'll get there eventually, won't it? That one. That one now.
Yeah, lovely.
You can change the side platings on these ones, which I've got a set of the who is it? Bray Wyatt, I think.
Fiend.
The Fiend.
Yeah.
The Fiend. Yeah, I got a set of plates of someone through one of the Facebook groups, quite cheap. But as I say, like these two, between the pair of them, they were an absolute ton.
Yeah, that
time I got home. Yeah, go on, mate. Sorry.
That Winged Eagle one's lovely, Brad.
Yeah,
I would love one of them.
I had the stupid idea of thinking, I'll just stick them in a duffel bag Like, yeah, that's the geezer. I've got his plates, but I'm just a bit nervous of swapping them out all the time.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna do that more when I've got like let's say I carried that big massive WWE champion one around.
Yeah.
A couple of commemoratives and the US Championship belt. I had them in a massive Slazenger bag. By the time I got home on Sunday, like, I thought my back was gonna fall off. I was like, never again. Like, my wife was like, "Why didn't you use a pull roll suitcase?" I went, "Because I'm not that smart, apparently." You know? So I got no sympathy and just a world of abuse for my own stupidity.
Have you got cases for them?
Back afterwards. They come in.
They come in like protective covers, don't they?
They come in like a zip up bag.
Yeah.
That's it. That's all they come in, which is fine. Yeah. But obviously, when you're trying, so when I got to the NEC Sunday, I linked up with a couple of the toy division guys. Just literally unzipped them all, left my bag behind the one of the stalls for a bit, and just had a little wander about, trying to map out where everybody was.
Yeah, yeah.
And eventually I found David World Toys. Obviously I found Common Collectibles. Vic was there from Fistful.
Yeah.
Old
Vic.
Robbo's Toys was there.
Yeah.
So obviously it's just like trying to find them, and Vic kindly gave me a couple of Hulkamania bandanas.
Yeah.
Okay.
Which obviously you can just put them, people can put them on, and kids can put them on, more so for holding that absolute beast.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's more synonymous with Hulk Hogan in his early days.
Definitely, that was the belt. That was the belt when I was a kid. That was the belt that Hulk Hogan and Ultimate Warrior and those boys had. So even Bret Hart.
Yeah, see, they got a beautiful signature series Bret Hart belt.
Yeah,
it's gorgeous. But the thing is, like, a lot of people, like, I've done photos with my son's mates and stuff, because they're like, a few of them are wrestling fans, not a lot of them. But you say about like certain belts, but they don't know who they are. And so depending, like, so it's more like, I've got a couple of older school ones, like, to kind of, for my nostalgia. But then even a few people like that I know, like, they're a bit younger than me, that are into wrestling still, and they're like, no, I prefer like the big winged eagle, like with the scratch logo and so on and so forth. So I've tried to go more for the newer belts, although it's not really my generation, because there's more interest for people wanting to have a photo with that type of belt. But it is what it is, I suppose.
Do you know what I love? The way that I used to love the old Intercontinental title, and the way that a couple of years ago they brought that back, didn't they, on the white strap? They actually brought the old title back as the new title, and I thought that was really good when they did that, to be fair.
Yeah, see, and the thing is, even though it's got that
they
new
never
logo
do that
on it, it still looks really nice.
Oh, it's lovely.
That's
it's
the one I've
exactly
got.
the same belt, other than the logo, isn't it? Otherwise, the modern logo on it. But the fact they've never done that before, have they? They've never rebought a title back out and used that as a modern title. And I thought the fact they did that, I thought was really, really good, because I love that belt.
Yeah.
So, like you guys were saying earlier, I was watching it whilst I was putting my kids to bed. Like you were saying about with filling up like bigger stadiums and stuff. I was watching a video of a guy on TikTok. Like, I follow a few different wrestling people on TikTok, and one guy was like, "Yeah, this is how they make it look like it's busier." And literally, you walked from where the actual event was, you go through a massive black curtain to half a stadium that's completely empty.
Yeah,
it's nuts. Obviously, but they're doing it to make it look like it's busy. But it's not.
So the guy, he's worked for WWE for years. He's a famous guy. Like, he's famous in WWE. I don't know his name, but his job is to make the stadiums look impressively, on TV. And they use the lighting, like the way they light it and stuff like that, all plays a part in how it's not as busy. Yeah, and then the camera angles, they position the cameras so that people are a lot further back. There's a lot bigger spaces, but actually it makes it look like, because of the camera angles, it makes it look like people are closer together.
Yeah, because I took my son to the WWE live event that was on at Wembley, the SSE Arena in Wembley last year.
Yeah, I went to that. I went to one of them.
My brother-in-law, my son and my nephew. My brother-in-law couldn't come for other reasons, so I took my boy and my nephew. And even, like, my nephew was just like, oh, I'm bored. Like, by the time he got to, like, the halfway point, he was supposed to finish at, like, 9:30 or something. Like, that's what he was pegged to finish online.
Yeah,
he looked at it online. I thought, that's not too bad. Get the kids home, reasonable-ish time. 9:30, they broke for an interval, and then come back with the last three matches. By that point, my kid was like, nah, Dad, I'm like, he's 8. He's like, yeah, I'm done. Go home now.
Yeah.
I was like, okay. Do you know what I mean?
My woman.
It's just that you weren't enjoying it.
my woman made the mistake of thinking, because I'm a wrestling fan, when I first met her in like 2013, something like that, she thought, oh, getting wrestling tickets being nice. And I was like, oh, these are useless. Like, I don't watch wrestling no more. I can't stand it. But me and my brother went anyway, and it was at Wembley. It was at Wembley Arena.
Yeah.
And we went there, and literally, same as you, mate, we were there an hour. It was full of kids. Yeah, we were like, what is going on here? And we ended up leaving after an hour and went all the way home.
Yeah, see, I just got disenchanted. Like when they brought out, like when Becky Lynch come out. Like, I'm not gonna pretend like I don't like Becky Lynch, because looking at her, you can't not like Becky Lynch.
Yeah. She's
This is the way they've created her character, and Seth Rollins' character. They were too similar on the night. They were just acting like bratty kids.
Yeah.
Like, this is boring. Like, I've watched some of that older wrestling through my mate, because he's got the WWE network. He got one of my mates I worked with got me back into wrestling. Just like, just watch some of these characters. They're quite funny, and I was like, all right, like I quite liked Otis. He just kind of reminded me of like an old school silly character. But again, they've changed his whole direction. They've changed like creative's just gone so daft with everyone's direction now. You can't enjoy it. You can't watch it and be like, that was worth a watch.
When you watch the Attitude Era, the reason the Attitude, we were saying earlier, the reason the Attitude Era was so good was because they were told roughly where they needed to get to, how they got there, and their character. They massively had a massive say in what they were able to do, and you can see it. That's why we had Stone Colds, the Rocks, the Triple H's. That's why we had those characters. That's why we haven't got them today, because someone's sitting there literally writing word for word everything that these people.
Like,
and it's rubbish.
It's like I've been watching some of that Dark Side of the Ring.
Yeah,
and it's like you watch that, and obviously that's why Ric Flair's career is basically non-existent now, because of that documentary. Essentially, I finally got around to watching that one yesterday, and I'm watching the Ultimate Warrior one now.
Yeah,
the Ultimate Warrior one. Yeah, I'm watching the Ultimate Warrior one, and it's like it's nuts. Like the stuff you don't know about your idols when you were a kid watching them.
Yeah.
Like, obviously, everyone see the state of Razor Ramon that he put himself into, like, through drugs and drink and everything.
But what makes me laugh is this. Listen, this is typical. This is what wrestling used to be. Why I used to love it. Razor Ramon clearly had a drink and drug problem. So what did WCW do about it? They threw him in front of the cameras and they let him play out his drug problem on live TV.
The storylines around it as well.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, and then they were trying to add it into a storyline, weren't they?
Yeah.
So when he's standing there looking like he threw up all over the place, didn't he?
That's what I'm saying. And
it's nuts.
And that is what wrestling, for me, that is what wrestling is lacking today.
Yeah, it's
there's not enough real life in it.
Realism. Yeah.
Yeah.
I can remember seeing TNA live at Florida when he was on in Florida. And literally, the ring was in the ring centre of the arena. And literally, the one side was no one's seats at all. It's just like all the camera crew. All the crew was literally. If you panned round a 360, it was blank.
Was that TNA?
Yeah, TNA.
You know, TNA used to buy a ticket to Universal Studios, and that got you entry to a taping of TNA if it was on.
Yeah. It used to be a Monday, Tuesday, and a Wednesday night, 4 hours.
You can watch the actual show, couldn't you? As part of
you watch the whole show.
As part of your theme park ticket.
4 different nights. But I actually done it. I was there the night after Hogan made his debut.
Yeah.
So it was pretty decent. I said the camera was literally one side of the wall, seating round 2 parts, and the entrance on the left.
Quality.
Crazy.
Quality.
Brad, do you after any belts or anything like that, or have you got enough at the moment, or are you after anything specific?
See, the thing is, like, I'm always looking to try and add to them, but it's just the cost. Like, at the moment, it's literally like I bought that the WWE Champion scratch belt.
Yeah.
I sold a lot of my personal collection of toys and stuff like that to fund it. But it's like I was trying to like get it set up to try and turn up at like shows and stuff like that. But like I contacted the guy that does the Enfield one, but I didn't get no hear back from him. But again, it's the travelling factor of it as well. Obviously, I don't want to take any money away from what I'm trying to get for the charity. Do you know what I mean? Like a friend of mine, she runs something every year to do raising money for Great Ormond Street also. And I said to her, look, I know you're going to charge for the stall. Like, I'll take one because it's cheap. Like, it's like 30 quid. And where it's going to be is like in my area in Romford. So it's like, it's going to kind of work out all right for me because I haven't got to like travel half the world to get there. And I know it's going to be solely for raising money for Great Ormond Street, and I ain't got to worry about it.
Are you a London man, Brad?
I grew up in West Ham. I moved out to Essex in my late 20s when I moved out with my missus.
Yeah.
But yeah, predominantly East London
I'm
boy.
from Essex originally. Obviously, I live like Hampshire way now, but I'm from Essex originally. I was born and bred in Essex. All my family's there.
Mm.
So I was from Chelmsford, Braintree way.
Yeah, see that I don't know any
You
of
ever
that.
thought
Is
of getting
I
hold
don't really need to
of
go.
Yeah.
Monopoly events and like their wrestling show coming up in April, May? They're doing a for love of wrestling up in Liverpool.
Yeah, they're doing a few shows. They've got one in London, haven't they?
Well, they got the big wrestling event in London, in Liverpool.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, it's a 2-day wrestling event. They've got some mega stars up there. You know, Bray Wyatt signing, Braun Strowman, old school wrestlers. Everyone's been signing up there. And at the moment, I know our friend's got like a free picture show his complete LGN collection off, the whole kit and caboodle.
Yeah.
If you could get up to Liverpool, it might be worth a message to say, listen, can I bring my belt up, do it for charity? They might just give you a free spot up there, you don't know.
Yeah, I've looked into it, innit? It never hurts. So at the moment, I'm trying to
I'd say
arrange
it's
stuff
all
with my
purely
work.
100% just wrestling. There's 60, 70 wrestlers up there signing all weekend.
Mad.
You know,
Brian,
it's for the love of wrestling, I think it's called. It's Liverpool. I can't remember the dates, but I know it's coming up in April and May time. There's mega wrestlers up there.
Brian's not happy about my comment. Look there about that. That's what wrestling's missing. I see what he's saying. It is an extreme view to have. Like, get someone who's got a problem like Scott Hall had and put him in front of the cameras and stuff and exploit him. I get that. I just think what I'm getting at is not that literally. I just think it's an example of our real and our cutting edge and how the characters weren't so much characters back then. So Scott Hall had personal demons and they played that out on TV. Do you know what I mean? Because that is what he was going through as a human being at the time. I think that's what I'm getting at. No one wrote the script for Scott Hall to go on camera and do that.
Yeah. They also did that with like Jeff Hardy with his little drinking problem. They sometimes take it too far, but don't explain themselves at the end of the series or the match of bits and pieces.
Yeah,
I
don't want to see people
put something up on screen.
I don't want to see people being exploited literally. I just think that you need elements of realism. There needs to be real parts of their character and personality.
They did the same thing with Macho Man and Elizabeth, wasn't it? When they were going through like turmoil and stuff like that. They played it into their whole characters.
100%.
Of the show, like he's kind of made
you
it
got
all
to see when their marriage was breaking down in WCW and that, and she was obviously, you know, having things going on with Lex Luger and that. Like they played all that out, didn't they? You were able to see bits of that.
Same with TNA. They did a few things with TNA with Dixie Carter, AJ Styles, and then literally Kurt Angle, Jeff Jarrett, and Kurt Angle's old missus that now married Jeff Jarrett. They did that as a storyline as well, which, you know, sometimes it's through wrestling, you don't know what's the difference between reality and storyline, do you?
Yeah.
No. I think social media as well, like social media has taken away the magic. Like you've seen behind the curtain now that, you know, you used to get to see these characters 2 hours a week on a TV show and you knew nothing else other than that each week. You got to see that. Now you can follow these people on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, and you can watch their whole lives unfold 24/7.
Yeah, you're seeing them outside of characters. You say that. When you look back in the day, like you look at the 90s.
Yeah.
If you see a wrestler outside, like you look at, for example, Ted DiBiase.
Yeah.
Like he started to become the person he was playing on TV.
100%.
And he's openly admitted that. Jake the Snake, same thing. They started to become their character. Because they were living it 24/7. Pretty much like a whole year round. They were being that person on and off camera. Because that's who they had to be.
But they can't do that now. You couldn't do that nowadays.
No.
Perfectly honest, there's only one wrestler to date, I think I know, to this date, there's only one wrestler that still keeps his character off camera. And trust me, you can either love him or hate him, but it's MJF, Maxwell Jacob Freeman in AEW.
Right.
You go to a signing and literally he's in the character all the time.
I think that's how you need to be.
That's the guy that wears like the Burberry scarf in it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know.
I see a video of him. They were like, he was doing a thing with someone at a signing, And like, yeah, he almost broke character. Like, even when he's at signings, he's playing.
He
his
never
character.
breaks
And he's a
character.
proper heel as well, because I don't know about
Yeah.
you guys, but you absolutely hate that geezer. Like he drives me mad just listening to him and watching him. And I think that's what you're supposed to. That's the reaction you're supposed to get.
Yeah, he's
Well,
supposed to
technically,
dislike
Mr.
the
C,
person.
he's at that.
Yeah.
Liverpool, they love a wrestling Liverpool in a couple of months' time, or a couple of weeks' time. He's actually signing in Liverpool. MJF is actually signing. You know, I'm tempted just to go there to see what he's actually, is he still like full character, like he's at signings? You like, as he is.
I reckon he would be. Like, he
Yeah.
just
I've seen him
seems
in
that
like
kind of geezer
Instagram
that would
posts and
pull it
YouTube
outside.
little clips, everything. You know.
It's like a few years ago, when my brother was still in the army, he done a tour of America, and he went to a couple of the wrestling events. So he got to meet like the Undertaker, Big Show, and all that. But the one person he wanted to meet was the Boogeyman, and he says,
Yeah.
off thingy, he was the most nicest guy you could ever meet, but he still kind of kept his character when he was off as well. And he says it was
See,
so
for
weird.
me, the Boogeyman can't be a nice guy in any way, shape, or form.
Oh, come on.
Because
You
the
want
Boogeyman-
to eat the worms, don't you, Mr. C?
Yeah, I want to. To be fair, he was a brilliant character. He was brilliant, and the way he used to eat them worms. Now I couldn't work it out. I was like, he surely ain't eating handfuls of worms, is he?
Yeah.
But he must have been. He
Well, you
must
can
have
go to
been.
Selfridges and buy ants, bugs, and everything else. So what's the difference?
My daughter had a thing about the Boogeyman. To be fair, she loves him. And I had a Boogeyman action figure. She's taken it. She now owns that toy. And every now and again I catch her playing with it, and I'm like, if only you knew. Yeah, if only you knew what he was about.
All them manky worms.
Yeah, like that was terrible, wasn't it? It used to make you feel sick.
It's like my youngest nephew, man, he loves Ryback.
Yeah, Ryback was quality.
I don't know what it is with Ryback, but it's like every so often all you hear is him saying, "Feed me more."
Yeah. He was an animal, that guy. I reckon he could have become big timer. He had everything, but
he's
he was
on
hurting everyone,
TikTok talking about want to come back, isn't he?
But he was hurting everyone, wasn't he? Apparently he was quite dangerous in the ring. I think he hurt CM Punk.
Yeah,
I think a lot of people didn't like working with him because he was a bit of a. You can imagine he was a steam train, wasn't he?
Yeah,
Perfect. He only had like one push in WWE, and that was against John Cena, and that's about it. He went for the title, I think, twice in his history. You know, but just
CM Punk's with AEW now.
Here's a quick question for you two guys or Baz as well. I always had the thing: are you a Vince McMahon guy in WWF or WWE? A Vince McMahon or a crowd person?
Well, sort of what? Sorry, Dave.
Are you going to be a crowd person to listen to the crowd, like a Zack Ryder or Daniel Bryan, but listen to the crowd and go with your gut instinct? Or would you rather be a Vince McMahon, where you've got the push of the boss behind you?
But both have been successful, though, haven't they? There's been wrestlers successful based on being pushed by the crowd, and they got to where they got to because the audience accepted them.
Yeah.
And then you've got the ones that Vince McMahon backed them as the man to carry the company forward. And you see John Cena's, Hulk Hogan's, The Rock, Stone Cold. You know, they're all backed by Vince McMahon, and of course the crowd accepted those people as well, didn't they?
Yeah.
So you look at some of the characters that some wrestlers come into right at the beginning. Like you look at Stone Cold's first character, he was like supposed to take up the mantle of
$1 Million Man.
Yeah, and he just hated his character, like detested it. But that's originally what he was written in for with Vince, and Vince went, "All right, we'll go away, think of something different. Like if it's shit, it's on you, sort of thing."
Yeah,
but it's all a bit
subjective,
isn't it?
But Brad, who's your favorite wrestler of all time?
Oh, see, I'm torn between two, just simply for the fact that one was my first ever actual carded figure that I ever remember opening as a kid.
Go on, who's that?
And the other, which is Razor Ramon.
Yeah.
Because I had a Spanish off the back of a lorry East London special as a kid. A friend of ours bought it round, and my mum was like, "Oh, they're cheap. Do you want one?" I was like, "Yes," because all my toys prior to that were all second hand.
What was it though? What was it? Was it the purple Razor? Or was it the black Razor?
It was the black. It was the black vest Razor.
Yeah.
I vividly remember to this day pulling that off the card. Like, there's not many toys I remember like physically opening packaging to.
Yeah.
But then $1 Million Man, because of his belt growing up, there was just something about that character. He just resonated. Like, oh yeah, like, look at him, sort of thing.
And you were loaded, Brad, as well.
ego.
You had loads of money.
I wish. Poor as you like growing up in East London. But I just remember, like that figure. I think it's more from the figure side of it. Is why I think Razor Ramon straight away, because I remember having that toy as a kid, and I remember taking it off the card as a kid. But for like actual character and just thinking, oh yeah, you're mental, was just the way $1 Million Man would just think I could buy anything and do anything he wanted, just because he had the dollar bills in his pocket.
Was good.
Like, yeah, nutter.
He was good. Obviously, mine was Ultimate Warrior as a kid.
Yeah, see, getting older, looking back on the Ultimate Warrior, I was thinking, oh mate, how did I not like him more?
Yeah, he was like I say, I just think it was the look with him. Basically, looking back now, I mean, his matches are that hard to watch as a wrestler. He's pretty limited, and I think everyone accepts that. And his ego outside of wrestling, apparently he was a difficult customer. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, that's what you're saying on that when I'm watching that. Behind what's it called?
Behind Dark Side of the Ring.
Yeah, that's the one. That's what he's saying on that I've watched of it so far.
Yeah, so but like I say, look wise and that, do you know what I mean? And in terms of the toys and the merchandise at the time, I ate that up. Yeah, I used to love it. But Stone Cold as well was another favourite of mine.
See, I felt I was too old to watch wrestling when you guys talk about Attitude Era and all that lot.
Yeah,
because of where I grew up, drummed into you. Oh, you're too big to be watching wrestling now. So I just stopped watching it. Like, and then it's only watching it back now, the amount of
good
characters,
it was.
I'm like, oh my god, like I missed like the penultimate time of wrestling. Like, I loved it as a kid.
Yeah.
We couldn't afford Sky as kids. We used to like pop around my mates, watch it on tape or whatever. And then a friend of ours
used to be on ITV or something at 4 o'clock.
Yeah, on a Saturday.
My first
Saturday
wrestling ring was a WCW ring, mate. Like, loved it. Loved WCW because it's all I knew.
Yeah,
I could afford to watch that.
Yeah, he used to have the grey ring. It used to be like grey ring and like yellow ropes and that. Do you remember? And he used to be on a Saturday afternoon. It used to be on like a Saturday about 1 or 2 o'clock for an hour, didn't it?
Man, I used to love it.
Absolutely, I used to love that. I used to love it. Like I say, I was a fanatic. Do you know what I mean? Me and my brothers, we'd smash our house up. People being sick. Like my mum would walk into the bedroom and someone would be in a vertical suplex. You know, it was.
I used to do extreme like Lilos.
What's that?
You know, when you used to go on holidays, you used to buy that Lilo for like $2.99.
Yeah,
the big Lilo like in the pool. You used
Yeah.
to get that into your wrestling moves in the water instead.
Yeah, we used to pull the mattresses off the bed, so we'd pull our mattresses onto the floor, and obviously they were the wrestling rings. And like I say, there was some extreme stuff happening. You know, I remember being a 6-year-old, like DDT and my brother and that, and like causing him like a fractured skull and things like that. Like all stuff like that used to go on. Yeah.
No, I wasn't about that as a kid. Like, we was nutters, but not like that.
Yeah.
You find me more climbing up a tree, falling out of it.
Yeah.
I would have to say my tag team was Animal and Hawk. I love those guys.
Legion of Doom.
Oh, mate, top tag team, top.
Yeah, they were. They're probably the best of all time. Probably. I was a Demolition man. I used to like Demolition.
Yeah. Mine was Demolition, and perfectly honest, my first one to this day is probably always be Hogan, because he made wrestling and brought it to the live stream and ran with it with Vince. And I think the other one is it's torn between Triple H and Shawn Michaels for the current people.
Yeah, Shawn Michaels. For me, the best in-ring performer was Shawn Michaels. Shawn Michaels and Bret Hart. When you watch their matches, they're the two. That is, without doubt, that's the best wrestling to watch. But I was going to say, back to favourite tag teams. Who remembers the Beverly Brothers?
Yeah.
Partially. Not a lot.
They used to wear like the purple tights with the silver stars on them and that. Both had like blonde hair, like long blonde hair and big tashes. They were quite good.
Yes,
They were good. They were baddies.
But as for tag teams, the only tag team I still listen to the theme song, because it's still on YouTube, it's Juice and Domino, the 80s tag team for the SmackDown.
All right.
I still like their entrance song. You know, it's like an 80s rock, 80s music. They used to wear the jeans and the white T-shirts, coming with the Cadillac and with it's a girlfriend is like on roller skates. It was like an 80s band called Juice and Domino. something different.
Yeah.
Yeah.
See, watching back some of the Attitude Era, like the was it Road Dogg Jesse James and the Badass Billy
Yeah.
Gunn?
Yeah.
Just
The
the
New
way,
Age
like
Outlaws.
the way they get the crowd like proper going.
Yeah.
It's just like the way he spoke on the mic. You're like, yeah, what a lad, what
Yeah,
an
you had-
absolute lad.
He was brilliant, Road Dogg. I used to love him, to be fair. I thought they were really good.
Yeah, I missed
Really
out on a
good.
sign. I was watching a signed photograph of both of them two, like when they were like, on their tag team title belts. Got outbid by 20 pence. I was very upset.
He used to go like everywhere in that tag team title. So he used to go around airports and that, like he'd be wearing the belt. Road Dogg. He like that tag team title. He didn't take it off. So he was a tag team champion wherever he went, and he said it used to get people going. Like people used to say, "Why are you walking around with that fake belt on like that?" Blah blah blah. And obviously, yeah, Road Dogg. Yeah, his mission was just to ram it down everyone's throat. He was the tag team champion. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
And he
like,
took it
here I
deadly
am,
serious.
like, look at that.
Yeah, and I think once again it goes back to that. That's the attitude they had back in the day. You know,
You guys could put one old tag team and one brand new tag team. So current roster versus old school. What would your dream match be then?
Demolition versus the New Day.
That's pretty sound, actually.
3-on-3 as well, wouldn't it? I know the New Day have sort of they've broke them up a bit now, and then they're two are in a different one. But yeah,
Big E's got
he's injured, isn't he?
A couple of weeks ago.
Yeah, he's injured. But because the New Day broke Demolition's record of longest reigning tag team champions.
Yeah.
But there was 3 of them, 3-on-3. I'd love to see Demolition versus the New Day. Yeah.
That'd be pretty cool, actually. That.
Yeah.
That's it.
I
don't really know, like
Smash still actually wrestle to this day.
Yeah, on the independent scene,
Do
don't
they?
they? Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, they must be trucking on a bit.
Yeah,
now,
don't get me wrong. They're not very dynamic these days. They weren't dynamic 30 years ago.
But then he did a couple of moves, so it doesn't make a difference, does it? It's like slap, 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 slap.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's like when you're looking at someone. When I first heard about AEW, and I was looking at some of the ex-WWE stars that were going over there, and like they're all old lads, like trying to run around the ring.
Yeah.
And you're like, come on, like get some new blood.
To be fair though, it's
but Sting, like you look at Sting, he's what, 65?
62.
Still going strong.
Yeah, mate. Darby Allin. I got that. I didn't know about him because then somebody else told me, oh, you know, there's a wrestler with a skateboard. I was like, what? I said I have to buy that for my boy, and I ended up buying like that same version for my son.
Yeah.
Who's that?
You've been buying. Do you ever buy off Rock and Roll Collectibles, Brad?
Yeah, I bought. Yeah, see, I bought. That's where I got my first commemorative belt from. My first commemorative belt was from him. I don't know what you call it. You know the Ultimate Warrior when he done his Hall of Fame when he come into the ring and he's like suit and all that lot.
Yeah.
I bought a damaged box version of that off him
I've
a few years back.
Him, yeah, I bought him.
But I've waited till I could get a proper display set up to put him like up on display now. So I've taken him out of his box, got him all posed up, and it's such a good looking figure.
I'll tell you a funny story, right, about Rock and Roll Collectibles. So for about the last 18 months, I've been buying off him, but obscene amounts, like monthly. I'm buying multiple figures every month off him. Like he might as well have access to my bank account, yeah?
Yeah.
But so I've been buying off him randomly, yeah. A couple of months ago, found out he lives in my town. He lives in Camberley. He lives down the road from me. So basically now I go and pick up the stuff from him. I order it on the site and I go and pick up the stuff in person from him. And Stu, he's a top man. I've met him multiple times now. And we basically, I now basically order from his site and go and collect it in person. And turns out he lives a mile and a half down the road from me.
He sorted out, you know, the logo for my Little Warriors Foundation page.
Yeah.
He designed that. He done that for nothing.
He's a top man. Listen, he'll dish you out. Listen, he gives discount. He looks after me. Do you know what I mean?
Honestly, he's always got a discount running on his page.
Yeah.
He's one of our promos for 10% off.
I've actually sent him a link to the channel. He said he is trying to get on tonight.
Mate,
so
honestly,
I don't know if he can, but I've sent him the link. I've asked him. He said he was trying to get on us.
I hope he does, because I love old Stu, and like I say, now I've got to know him. Like, you know, I go over there, pick stuff up. We end up sitting there chatting for an hour. Do you know what I mean? Like,
your wife's ringing you, like, where have you gone, mate? You gone missing?
Yeah. Like, honestly, he's a lovely lad, old Stu.
Is that when you're buying all your Masters of the Universe stuff off it? They're good.
So This is in the last couple of days. So got the Triple H Legends DX Army.
Yeah.
When they went to
Absolutely
WCW.
right,
Yeah. I've got Cactus Jack off him. Look at that Cactus Jack. Look at that face scan. You'd like that, Brad.
That looks good. That.
Doesn't it?
That is a good one.
Don't be tempting me more, Big C. You've done that.
No,
with the,
wait. Did you get this Hogan though, Brad, as well? Because I know you've been picking some up, haven't you? The latest Hogan. That's in Smiths.
That's hard plastic, isn't it, Randy's neck?
Yeah, that is. Yeah. 20 quid from Smiths. That is at the minute. That's in Smiths. And then
that kind of ruins it a little bit because they've done the cloth vest.
Yeah.
For that other one, you think they'd have done like cloth boas.
And then I've got this from Stu, Rock and Roll Collectibles, the Ultimate Warrior, Master of the Universe.
That's nice, that one.
That's lovely, isn't it?
They never got released over here except for Series 1, haven't you?
Well, yeah, Series 1 though. You got Series 1 as well, Dave, didn't you?
Yeah. It's all I've got because that's the only released ones over here.
Got Series 1 from Wrestling Shop UK.
Yeah.
So yeah.
60 quid for the set, weren't they, or something?
Something like that. Yeah, I'm only interested in the Ultimate Warrior ones, really.
So I had the Becky Lynch one of that, and I just couldn't fit it in anywhere in any display. And I'm not a massive Motu fan, so I bought it because it was Becky Lynch, and then was like, I've actually got nowhere to put this, so I ended up sending it back. I ended up selling it on. I was just like, let me just jog it on again, and that money ended up paying to get what's it? They call it the Meat Vest Ultimate Warrior. Like I got him loose, and an elite of Becky Lynch. The only thing she's missing is her little briefcases.
When you say what Ultimate Warrior was that, Brad?
The Meat Vest one is like where the singlet he's wearing. It looks like
I've got that one from WrestleMania. That's what SummerSlam '92 attire. That is SummerSlam '92.
Okay.
It's like a muscle suit.
It's a weird. Yeah, it looks weird.
And it's got writing on the back, and it's got like writing on the back of the singlet.
I quite like the sculpt of it. I thought that looks not half bad.
Yeah. I don't like the hair sculpt on that. He looks like he's got a bit of a round bowl, a bit of a Brian May going on, hasn't he?
Yeah, like ended up doing all of the the Build-A-Figure ones to get the Jimmy Hart.
Yeah.
Because they was doing an offer in Smiths.
Do you see what I did with that, Brad?
Smiths? You done the custom of your own, didn't you?
Yeah. So I never do a complete Build-A-Figure, so I never want all the figures. They always throw some modern ones in there, don't they?
Yeah, because
they be able to complete it.
Big E, some girl who I have no idea. I can't remember her name now. Yokozuna and Earthquake.
So I bought the Yokozuna and Earthquake to get the torso and the head, but I had a pair of legs. So Hal would think that I never bought legs and arms when they did the same thing on another series. Well, I bought the two classics, but didn't want the two moderns. So I've been able to put them together, and I've basically got a Build-A-Figure of
customized Build-A-Figure.
Yeah, but he's got black arms instead of pink suited arms.
Got,
so
pink suit arms, isn't he?
I'm gonna have to paint them up.
Get a bit of acrylic paint, mate.
That's it.
Speak to Aaron's Mrs. Vic. She'll give you some tips. She's done that. Done a customized
earlier.
Yeah.
I've never done a custom job either. I'd like to do that. Could be my first custom, to be fair.
Well, talking about wrestling figures and that sort of stuff, we will go to the toy shows to get the figures and bits and pieces. So Baz has got a big box full of wrestling divas that he ain't got a clue what he's on about. So come on, Baz, let's show the wrestlers off, see who gets what.
I'll show them off in a minute, but as this we were talking about from on customs there, this is my first attempt at a custom.
Oh, look at that. That looks mental. I'm glad my kids are in bed. I'm glad my son's in bed. You'd be like, Dad, I want that.
That's a Woody. What is that? Is that
Leonard body with arms and a Woody head off a egg toy?
Quality.
Quality. Looks off a Luke Skywalker, and the gun is from a Fortnite figure.
I like that.
I like that.
Yeah. That's quality.
So come on, Mr. Baz, show the wrestlers off then.
Right, so I picked this up a couple of weeks ago. I was on Facebook, but I picked them up from my nephew because my nephew he loves wrestling. there is a few wrestlers in here because you've got like Sheamus. I know who that is, but there's a load of like divas in here that I didn't really watch modern wrestling, so I wasn't too sure. So let's see how good your knowledge is.
That any of you two guys?
I don't know who that is.
Not a clue.
Eva Marie.
Everybody should know who this is. I know
Stephanie
who,
McMahon.
Ronda Rousey. Gotta know that.
The first one, Baz, was Eva Marie with red hair.
right.
I think.
I know who this is. This is Lita.
Yeah.
I think this is a Jack Pacific one.
It is.
Yeah, they've only done one Mattel Elite one, and she's in jeans.
And we all know who that is.
Becky Lynch.
My girlfriend.
You like Becky Lynch?
That's the
That's one of the
Bella
yeah,
things,
yeah.
No clue.
No
Is
idea.
it Megan Fox? I was taking the guess.
I would assume it's something Fox because I can see Fox on her.
Yeah, Fox.
And then
Alicia Fox or something.
that'll be the other Bella twin then.
That's Bray.
Yeah.
I know who that one is.
That's what's her name.
I quite like her character, the way she's gone.
Yeah,
Alexa Bliss, isn't it?
yeah.
Alexa Bliss, yeah. She's like now with like she was like gone with a fiend, didn't she?
Yeah. I quite like that. Like when I watched a few of the bits on my mate's channel.
Loves Me Better by Felix Yang.
Can you hear that?
Featuring Jasmine Thompson on Amazon Music.
Yo, Alexa, pick that up quick. I have no idea who that is.
Angelina Love from TNA.
Another Becky Lynch.
Emma or Emelina from, she's now in Impact Wrestling, but she was in WWE.
Anyone know who that one is?
Stephanie McMahon. No idea who that is.
The Field of Glow Naomi.
There's quite a. It's not diva, but who the hell was this again?
Montoros. He used to be a Mexican little dwarf from the tag team with the something tag team. I can't remember the names.
I know who that is. That's Paige.
Yeah.
I got a nice signed autograph print of her for 50p at a car boot sale.
I think that's AJ Lee.
Yeah, let's have a look. Yeah, that is AJ Lee. She's with CM Punk, isn't she?
Yeah,
Real
she's
life.
married to CM
She's
Punk,
married to him, yeah.
Yeah.
That's Lana, isn't it? Dave got that earlier, yeah.
Ooh, wrong way.
God
I
knows.
think she's in NXT. I think what's Randy? The other one was stuck on actually.
So,
Tori Kelly, is it?
Is that Stacey Keebler? Don't know.
I thought it was Kelly.
then got there's that one.
That is Velvet Sky from TNA.
And then
Charlotte Flair.
Yeah, Charlotte, isn't it?
I know Charlotte Flair.
The
Everyone knows
only
Charlotte Flair.
male guy that's in here because the rest of them is I know who Shawn Michaels is. I know who fucking Sheamus.
What's the Shawn Michaels figure though? Let's have a look.
It's one of the. Okay, it must be one of the gimmick.
Yeah, with the action feature.
Because there's a Rey Mysterio that's kind of got like the same.
Oh, the flip actions, yeah.
But who's that? Is anybody?
Let's have a look.
It's that from
I've
guy.
no idea who that is.
That guy from Crime Time, from that TJ something. They've left WWE now.
It's an elite.
And then a random from an referee.
Hey, toy biz.
Just have a little referee there. They didn't do too many referee figures, to be fair.
About 3 or 4 in history.
Yeah.
I do like the new referee with AEW. That's about it.
You need to get this one, Brad.
I want to do a little challenge with from Brad and Lovehammer because I have got some Hasbros here. I want to see how good their knowledge is and who they know they are. Some of these are quite battered, so some of the paint's not
coming in.
I'm getting beat all day long by Big C, I think.
I'm sure, Brad,
now.
you'll be all right on Hasbro's, though. We should both know these are.
Berserker.
Without the cloth cape. He's missing the cloth.
Oh, look at
Macho
that.
Man.
That's a good suit, that one.
That's a
He
lovely
does look
one,
cool
that
in
is.
outfit.
Lex Luger.
Lex, isn't it?
I know this is not.
That's a
Hasbro.
Galoob. That's Lex Luger.
I don't think that is Lex Luger, but there you go.
Yeah, that's Lex Luger. Put that one back
Brutus.
up. David doubts me there. That's a Lex. It's got the
I
ponytail
don't
as well.
think it is.
Yeah, it's Lex Luger, that is. See, he's worn away butt cheeks.
That's a telltale sign, is it?
Yeah, that is definitely Lex Luger. His pants are coming off.
Brutus
Brutus
the
the
Barber
Beefcake.
Beefcake.
Yeah.
Flair.
Flair.
My favourite.
Virgil.
One of the... Oh, there you go. I don't know which one.
Everybody know who's you.
My mate
Yeah.
Doink.
Doink the Clown.
I'll always remember the one where he comes out with a fake arm.
Yeah.
Oh,
Ricky the Dragon.
Ricky the Dragon. Beats up Crush, doesn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mountie.
Mountie. Jim Neidhart. Jim the Anvil. Texas Tornado. Yeah.
Repo Man.
Which is also
I'm
Demolition.
getting more than I thought I would.
Which is Smash. Yeah,
Yeah.
right. From Demolition. Earthquake.
How about Repo Man?
He was Smash from Demolition. Samu from the Head Shrinkers.
One of the Head Shrinkers.
Yeah.
Bam Bigelow.
Bam Bam Bigelow. Scott Bigelow. Ultimate Warrior.
Big C, your man.
There's my man there.
Oh, he shouldn't have been here.
Hogan.
The immortal Hulk Hogan.
Yeah.
I forgot
One
about
of
that.
the
Nasty boy. Brian Knobs.
Hacksaw
Jim Duggan.
He was nuts.
Yeah,
He was.
quality.
Swanky eye. Ugh.
Scott Steiner.
I believe that's why.
He's one of his relatives wrestling now or something.
His
In
nephew.
NXT.
So his brother Rick Steiner, who they were in a tag team, the Steiner brothers. Rick
Yeah.
Steiner's son is now up and coming. And they reckon he's really good, apparently.
Yeah, I see him wrestle when I went to that live event.
Is he good?
In, SSC.
Yeah.
He ain't bad, you know. He lost, but he ain't bad.
Sergeant Slaughter.
Sergeant Slaughter.
Sergeant Slaughter.
Oh, another
Hogan.
immortal Hulk Hogan.
They made a lot of Hulk Hogan Hasbros. I think there's 4 or 5 different
Yeah,
Hogans.
4. You got the bear hug, the punch,
The one that
suplex,
did that.
one there, and
Yeah, that was the first Hasbro I ever got as a
just the
kid.
weird
That was
punchy one.
It's kind of
$3.99.
funny.
Undertaker.
The Undertaker.
It's funny because last week I picked up a bag of figures and he was in it again. So I think I've got about 3 or 4 of this guy.
To be fair, there was 2 releases of that Undertaker.
Dark hair
Wasn't
and
there?
light
One
hair.
with darker hair with the cloak.
John Gonzalez. Macho Man or King, depending on what says on his shorts.
Yeah, this one's
King, yeah.
Oh, my
That's
main
your
man,
man.
Razor Ramon.
Your man. That's the first one you got, Brad, wasn't it?
First one I pulled off a card as a kid.
Yeah.
Really funny,
Spanish card.
Big C, because as I was saying to you before we started this, is that just before Christmas, I got a lot of these Hasbros at the charity shop, and that was one of them.
Yeah, he's quality.
He's top class, him.
Yeah.
I know, man, a lot of these that I go to the charity shop, they got a lot of paintware, but I couldn't
Mr.
leave.
Perfect.
Yeah, Mr. Perfect. You, like I say, you can't ever pass up any Hasbro's, can you, if
Nah,
you
but
come
you see
across
him,
them.
you got to pick him up no matter what.
Yeah.
Party
Marty
Marty.
Jannetty.
That one's known as Party Marty, isn't it? My brother
Yeah.
got bought last year in
Skinner.
November.
I think I might be wrong, but is this not the one that Dan
Jake
liked?
the Snake.
That's Jake the
No.
Snake, yeah.
Snake.
I think that's that Warlord.
Warlord,
Yeah.
yeah. Still wrestling.
Crush.
Kona
Kahuna
Crush. And obviously, this one is the
I've
evil
got
Crush.
him carded from. Where did I get that from? Toy Scavenger.
Yeah.
IRS.
Erwin R. Shyster.
And he was a shyster.
He was.
And then there's a couple of the.
The
You
Finn,
got the
Finn
2 series boss man there.
Series 1 and Series 3, innit?
1 and 3,
Yeah,
I believe.
I had
believe you're
a
right there.
truncheon of these knocking around for ages.
Rick Rude.
Rude. That's Dan's plastic spanning back bigger.
There's another Galoob.
Ric Flair Galoob, isn't it?
Flair.
Yeah.
Bret
Bret
Hart.
Hart.
The best it is, there was, there ever will be, innit? That's his slogan.
Yeah,
Coco
Coco
Beware.
Beware.
Parrot, wasn't it? Oh, look,
Does-
another one of Big C's mates.
Does a stomp, and the arm goes. Papa Shango. Also known as
He
the
was-
Godfather.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I only found that out recently. I
Yeah.
didn't realise
You're going
how
to
many
see
wrestlers
quite
have
a few,
different
you know?
characters are.
Had multiple ones, and some
Yeah.
you wouldn't even know. Yokozuna.
Yokozuna. Found out recently he's Hawaiian or something.
Yeah, he's not even Japanese.
Yeah, he's not
You know,
even
he's the Rock.
Japanese.
He's the Rock's cousin,
Yeah.
Knobs.
Jerry Sags.
Is that Sags, is it?
Yeah,
Yeah, so I keep getting mixed up then to Sags and
yeah. Brian Knobs and Jerry Sags.
blonde hair and
Animal.
black hair. Yeah.
Part of the LOD.
Animal.
They were known as the Road Warriors, weren't it? When they went over to
Road
WCW?
Warriors
Yeah.
when they first win WCW, the NWA. Yeah, that's
The
Luke.
other half of the Bushwhackers.
Yeah, Luke. Typhoon.
When he the one that wore the stupid
Tugboat, and he was the Shockmaster.
Tugboat.
that's the
Yeah.
one, Shockmaster.
I've got that elite. Scott Steiner.
Scott Steiner again.
Nails.
People always ask about him on the wrestling groups I'm on, and they're like, "Oh, can you show me the numbers on the front and back? I want to see if they're good." The other half of the ear shrinkers, I don't know which one it
Yeah,
is.
Samu, I think that one is.
But
I've got one of them, but I can never remember which one I've got.
Like
Fatu's the harder one to get, Brad.
the orange guy. The orange jumpsuit.
Nails.
Yeah, on the back. What's his numbers on the back like?
DOC something, I bet. Yeah,
Well, that's really clean.
to be
Yeah.
fair, it's a fresh
He's still
one.
got
you
his
got
numbers
there.
on his chest.
Numbers on the chest are
Down
slightly,
side.
slightly worn.
Yeah, that's not
pretty-
bad. That's not bad
really good,
condition.
Nick.
That one. Yeah,
Loads of people, like when you see people asking about, like, if someone puts one up for sale, they always show the front. They're like, "Oh, can you show me the back? I want to see the numbers on the back."
And it's
'Cause the
all
numbers on the
scuffed
front
up.
would be good, and on the back it's maxed out. And they're like, "Oh no,
Yeah.
it's no good for me. Thanks." Don't get me wrong, you never really have your fingers on display showing the back, but
you still want them fresh, don't you? As
Yeah.
you can get them. I'm like that.
Razor
I'm a bit-
Ramon's, like with the Razor logo on his shorts.
yeah,
they've
they
got.
go, don't they? They fade, don't
Like
they?
the one I got from a charity shop, not a charity shop, car boot sale, and it's pretty good condition for where I bought it from.
Why I'm actually in this, but I've got a couple of these in here. What line with these?
I don't know, but they look like I know what ones they are. They're like but he looks like he's sitting on the toilet, doesn't he?
Aye.
But the only
Cars he
guys,
collected.
WWE or Jax always did two lines.
It's
of
Jax.
the
I think
wrestling
they're
line.
Jax. I think.
Yeah.
Because I think the man
I think they
Ken,
come with like a little ring as well, wouldn't it?
Yeah, look, they look
like
like they're
brawlers.
posed like they're sitting on the toilet.
Yeah.
I think they were called like WWF brawlers, and they come with like a mini ring or something. It's quite weird.
but that's basically. When I started picking up Hasbro's, England had like 4.
What'd you do, Barry, with them? Do you sell them or do you keep them?
The Hasbro's I would keep because it's not something that you find.
Have you got a Hasbro collection?
Who, me?
Yeah. Have you got like a big Hasbro collection?
Just what I've just kind of showed you.
Yeah.
It's like went to one charity shop one weekend, found a couple, and then I just happened to go to the boot sale like 2 weeks later, found another couple, and then like last year went to that charity shop, and I couldn't believe my luck that they were selling them for like I think it was like $150 a bag or something. So I just basically just went up to the till with the basket and said I'm buying them.
Cool. If you go to the toy shops, if you go to the charity shops near me and they've got Hasbro's on the shelf, like how much for them? Like £300.
Yeah, I remember going into a local Chazza. They had a few Thundercats.
Yeah.
A couple of years back, and I rang my brother-in-law. I was like, "Oh, mate, they got some Thundercats here." And I told him how much they were. And they're having a laugh at that. He went, "That's prices on eBay."
Yeah.
Like
They're clued up now, aren't they?
For that price.
Yeah.
They're clued up. They're not stupid.
Sometimes, like, other times you walk in, you see something worth having. They want peanuts for it. You walk in another time, and it depends on who they've got researching their stuff on the day. But what makes me laugh is the keyword charity shop. Someone's given them that.
Yeah, and now they're looking to cash in.
Sometimes
max.
I find myself to be like, you know what? I can't even bring myself to even think about it. Because, it's for charity. Yeah, all right, cool. I want to support a charity. But on the same man, like, it was handed to you. Like, figure out your pricing. It's going to sit there for years. Like, I remember for 2 years straight, there was a boxed Game Boy that sat in a charity shop in Romford because they wanted £100 for it. And it just wouldn't sell because at the time, no one was really
and
doing
all you're
retro
doing
collecting.
is someone's given that to them so they can sell it to pass on. And all they're doing is pricing. So you're preventing that money from going to where it should be going.
I'm not going to pretend like it was clean. Like I had a look inside, like the Game Boy was still the original grey colour. Like all the inner polystyrene was like mint condition. I said to him, like, I'm not being funny. I said, like, you're not going to get £100 for it. And then eventually, like, I went back in. I said, "Oh, like you sold it." They went, "No, it just got cycled out." So it gets cycled to another store after a period of time. But it sat there for 2 years solid behind the counter. 2 years just collecting dust because no one wanted to pay £100. And
Kevin might be.
I remember the story going back to the toy fair, and Andy was looking after the mail away Hogan just before the lockdown came in. This guy was trying to sell it to him for £100. Still bagged, mail away Hogan, still bagged.
There's no way it's real at that price.
That was before lockdown. And he's like, and he says no bits and pieces. But if you look at the price now for the mail away Hogan, still bagged. It's
like, the prices of Hasbro just went up exponentially during lockdown.
Yeah, they did.
The prices of Hasbro, I started collecting them again. A couple of the guys from Toy Division were like, "Oh, mate, you've chosen the wrong time to collect them." I was like, "I think so, yeah."
But I
like,
can't
I got
see the
lucky
prices
with a
coming
couple.
down.
Yeah.
Nah, see, like, I've been lucky with a couple of them. Like, I got one of the head shrinkers. All right, the card's a bit knackered, but it was cheap. Like, I think I want it for like £30 on eBay, something silly like that. Like, that was posted, but then the geezer sent it out in a black bag. And then I was like, "You having a laugh? Like, why would you send it?" And I messaged the geezer. He said nothing. I left it a couple of weeks, then left negative feedback. Like, the geezer didn't reply back. Well, can you retract your negative feedback? No, I really can't. Like, you didn't listen to the message that I sent you. Like, have a word. He was like, "Oh yeah, but for the price I charged for postage, that was appropriate." So, mate, stick it in a box. It's a carded figure.
Yeah.
And then, like, I had a blinder off Dave at Birmingham with my rockers. Like, that's a lovely set. That's now in this case on my wall. Do you know what I mean? Like, and I got the shirtless NDM carded for £70, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, £70 I paid for him on a Facebook group. That's carded, all right. The card's
the little
sun
son who
damaged.
gave you the wrestling magazine too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, mate, he loves that. He was so happy with that. Totally made up. He got home, he was like, sitting on the train on the way home. "Oh, Dad, look at him. Dad, look at him." Because, like, he watches some of the old stuff. Like, he's a big for whatever reason, he likes John Cena and Big E. I don't know why. He's got a big, like, we took him to the live event at the break. They were like, oh, we've got Big E and Riddle autographs for sale, da-da-da. Because he thought, oh, am I going to meet the wrestlers? Like, mate, we ain't paid VIP. Like, we ain't meeting no one. He's, oh, I wanted one of their autographs. Well, we can buy one. And I gave him the choice, like, you can either have Riddle or Big E, you choose. Oh, Dad, I want Big E, he looks nuts. All right, well, we'll buy Big E then. And he's got him a like big poster on his wall, like signed poster on his wall.
Big E's quality though.
Yeah,
he's just. I love his. The best part is like the poster itself. It's done like a comic book cover.
Yeah,
it looks like a comic, and he loves it. Absolutely loves it. It's like I was saying earlier. Like I don't know if you can try and show it. I don't know if you can really see it there. You got the page.
Yeah.
Autograph poster.
Yeah.
It was that and it's proper autograph. It's not like a printed poster. Got her and Daniel Bryan's one, a car boot sale last year, 50p each.
Oh.
It was a woman just selling off all of her wrestling stuff. And I said, oh, how much are these posters, love? And I'm expecting like £5-10. And they're in a box with a load of other touch. She went, oh, 50p each? Oh, okay. I'll have them both. Do you know what I mean? And my brother was like, oh, were you going to sell them? I went, no. So I'm putting that up on my wall. For the wife's discontent, she's going up on my wall. She just sits there. Do you know what I mean? And has done for a bit now.
It's always
my wife will eventually make me take it down.
If you got a boot sale, Brad, and you see something that you know is inexpensive, you kind of go up and go, how much you want for that? And as soon as if they say like 50 pence or a pound, I basically just throw the money at them, grab the fucking ring and walk away.
Like, I had the same thing. Like I found at one point I was buying to resell at boot sales, like most people do, and I see a boxed in the original cellophane N64 game of GoldenEye. The woman said, "Oh, £5." I went, "Sorry?" She went, £5. I was like, "Okay." And I'm trying not to smile too much as I'm handing her a fiver, knowing it's worth at the time like 80-90 quid.
Did you sell it on?
Okay. I ended up selling it to my brother. Like I said to him, "Do you want it?" Well, I paid for it, and then he sold it on for I think nearly 100 quid when he sold his collection. I said to him, "Look, give me what I paid for it."
Well, it is a quality game, though, isn't it?
Yeah. So he just kept it because it was sealed, literally still in the original cellophane. And he was just like, "Oh, mate," like I was like, "Look, I'll be honest, I was gonna sell it on to try and add a piece to my collection, but give me what I paid for it, and it's yours," sort of thing.
I used to love that game.
But see, I couldn't get on with it. I didn't like the joypad.
Now, to be fair, it was good. It was good, to be fair.
And I couldn't afford to own an N64 when they first released it. I liked Vigilante 8.
I don't know that.
Oh, that was a great game on the N64. Vigilante 8.
Wasn't the WrestleFest in the arcade?
I don't know if it was ever in the arcades, but
I know. No, what is it? It was the game called WrestleFest in the arcade.
Yeah.
Logan, Warrior, Macho, Snake.
There was quite a few arcade wrestling games, weren't there?
First one basically is tag team, and then the final opponents were Legion of Doom.
See, I've never been able to do anything good on a wrestling game.
I think it was WrestleFest or something.
I used to like the WCW NWO Revenge on the N64. That was brilliant.
See,
I still like the WCW versus the World for PlayStation.
Yeah. Frank Zales, his favourite game of all time was GoldenEye. Yeah, I bet Frank comes across to me. I bet he was a man who enjoyed the facility level.
Yeah. That GoldenEye was a classic, wasn't it? For N64, was it?
I used to like the start of the facility. You used to be in the toilet. You used to have to the guy was in the toilet when the Russian soldier was in the toilet. You had to like sniper him, didn't you? Climb down from the ducting, and away you go. Brilliant.
That was a good game. Like, years for I played that game, like years.
Yeah.
I'd still play it now.
All right, gentlemen, I'm gonna have to duck out because I'm gonna have to get something typed up before I go to work in the morning.
Where you go, Brad?
I'm definitely in a world of trouble.
Sweet.
Thank you for having me on.
Find you, pal. If you want to promote yourself, where can we find you? And if anyone wants to make a donation to your charity,
literally, it's literally like Little Warriors Foundation Instagram page. I've got a YouTube channel as well, which is slowly coming along. I'm going to get more stuff moving on there as it goes. But there is a link tree in the bio. So you can literally go on there. If you ever want to donate to Great Ormond Street or know anyone to just throw a donation towards Great Ormond Street, they can literally just click in there. So I'm hoping to do more stuff moving forward with the meeting up of the belts.
Yeah.
And then say as soon as stuff and events I can do, I'll put dates out. Or if I've met up with people, if they're local enough, I'll meet up with them. Do you know what I mean? And just so they can have a pose up with the belts. I've got
What's YouTube again? Is it the Warrior Foundation or something?
literally same thing. Yeah, Little Warriors Foundation. It's exactly the same, all the same name.
Yeah.
But I've got they did a filter on Instagram where you can do it with like a doorway, and it looks like you're walking through the entrance. And it comes up with WWE Universe. I didn't realise they were at Wembley for a day. I was at work all day. I was mildly upset. You had a Moustache Man and a few other people there, all just like standing
Yeah, I can remember. I've seen the BT Sport advert for it, and it was like, looked pretty decent. So.
Yeah, see, I didn't know about it until the day I'm sitting there watching Instagram, like, what's this?
Yeah.
I was like, I'm at work, why? And I rang my mate. I said, mate, you know they're doing this? He went, oh, it'll probably be done by the time we finish work. And then I'm looking at it later on in the evening. It was going on till like 8, 9 o'clock. But the crowds were huge by the time like it got to the evening. But it is what it is. But yeah, as I say, you can find me on both Instagram and YouTube. That's all I've got at the moment. I'm no good with technical stuff. My sister helps it. My missus helps with me with it. I just like kind of roll with the flow. Like I had to bring my sister and have my missus sitting there with me to work out how to bloody set up a link tree. I was like, help me, I don't understand. And got just a world of verbal abuse off my little sister. It was great.
No, thanks for coming on, Brad, and good luck with you.
No, thanks for
nice
having
to
me,
see you,
guys.
Brad.
Nice
to
chatting
see
to you. All right, take care of yourselves, lads. Be
Take
good.
care, Brad. See you
Take
later,
care.
mate. See you later.
Bye. Bye.
Whoa.
There we go. Whoa.
God.
No, it's good to have Brad on. Like, obviously, I interact with Brad and that, so on social media and stuff. So, yeah, he's a wrestling man.
Little people do for the community and the fans out there, where you just can't get it at shows of that sort of stuff and bits and pieces. I remember taking the Attitude WWF heavyweight belt to like the big shows myself. I didn't take it to sale. I just put it on the middle of the store because I was selling the wrestling figures back then, the Jack stuff with Toy Biz and all the rest of it. But the amount of people says, "Can we have a picture with the belt?" I said, "Yeah, go for it." You know, it's amazing what Brad's doing now for helping, charities out and everything else. It's something different, isn't it?
And I'd say I love that winged eagle that he's got. I'd love that. Like it is something that I'd be interested in. I would love to have a picture of it. I'd love to hold it. I'd love to.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? I would love that. I've never actually held one of the real replica ones.
Well, you got the kids ones, mate.
I've got the kids ones. That's enough for me. I still love putting that across my shoulder and that, and like cutting a promo with that with one of the belts. Yeah, I still love doing that.
I don't know. That knee looks absolutely quite tasteful. You know, the knee hammer.
The love hammer's very sitting in a very suggestive way. That's the love hammer for you.
Is that that's the fans only page for later then, basically?
Yeah, basically, yeah. Because like the love hammer, like my wrestling persona is and my online persona is like is a porn star.
Yeah.
You know, that's the
sort
of.
Wrestlers still do it, don't they? A lot of divas still do it in bits and pieces, don't they?
Yeah, like I say, I'm a bit of a Val Venus, I think. Remember Val Venus?
Yeah.
He was good, wasn't he?
Yeah.
I used to like that. He used to be like, "Hello."
I don't think there's one gimmick in the day I can't remember hating. There was always something about him that stood out.
I used to love it. I used to love it. They were so good, the personas that they used to have. And like you say, like we were saying earlier, a lot of it was left down to the wrestler to push that. Do you know what I mean? And I think that's where it goes wrong today. I don't think we got enough of that, to be fair.
It's like if you go like McFlurry, man, he had was it 3 or 4 different over his career kind of thing. You wouldn't know that. So Cat was one of them, and was it
Dude Love?
Dude Love, aye.
Mankind, and then basically, and as well, he's also known as Mick Foley, isn't he? He's got his own normal persona as well. So really, he has got the 4
as well. So he's got like the 4 or 5 faces of Foley. It's unbelievable. I can still remember that one Royal Rumble. He came down as 3 with Mankind first, Dude Love,
he
and
got
then
3 different entries.
I was just going to say, I mean, there was one, basically, it was like all these fucking characters. It was like one after another. It was like, Jesus.
But even that was like half scripted because he got eliminated. Must have got back, got in time to change and come back out again. That was just.
Yeah, my favourite Mick Foley character would have to be probably Mankind. Do you remember the Hell in the Cell, King of the Ring, 98? What a match that was with the Undertaker.
The Undertaker won.
When he went through the ring and stuff like that, he went through the cage, didn't he? Landed on his head. Like how that geezer did not die in that match.
And when he got off the top of the cage as well.
Yeah, when he got thrown over the cage onto the announcer table from like that 30-foot drop. See, that is, we'll never see that sort of stuff again.
Was that the one, Mr. C, if I'm correct? He's had a tooth in his nose.
Yeah, his tooth went through his lip and his nose. Yeah, he
but
had a tooth stuck in his nose.
It's still one of the best matches still to this day. That's, you always say, how did he get up?
They said backstage, because Vince McMahon didn't know the extent that he was going to go to. And the Undertaker and him had planned it, and the Undertaker felt a bit uncomfortable at some of the things that he was asking him to do. But he did it, and then when they went backstage, Vince McMahon went, Mick, I just want to thank you for what you've done for me tonight, yeah? But please, never do that again. Please don't ever do that again. Don't go that extreme.
He's lost quite a few teeth. He's lost part of his ear. And
he lost his ear in Japan in a barbed wire match, didn't he? He got caught on the barbed wire and ripped half of his ear off.
And that was against Chainsaw Charlie, wasn't it? Against his friend? Against,
who was, he's obviously Chainsaw Charlie, is obviously, what's his name?
I can't remember his name.
Yeah, I can't believe I've forgotten his name. But yeah, they're obviously hardcore legends, aren't they?
Yeah. The only other guy at the moment that's pretty decent in hardcore, and he's somehow getting around. He's like Darby Allin.
So have AEW got like a hardcore division, have they?
They haven't really, but he's just like, he's almost like a young Mick Foley that puts his body around, getting chucked downstairs. The matches he's had and some of the stuff he's been through is unreal.
Quality.
You know, he's just
a guy, Dave. Is it? I've kind of started watching a bit of TNA every so often, and it was him and Sting. Can't remember who was in the ring, but then Sting's music come on, and basically the guys in the ring started to run towards him and Sting. Next minute, that guy comes out for fucking nowhere, man, and like
just jumps straight into
basically spears him, and it looked like the guy got snapped in half.
He's just, I think he's like 22, but he's absolutely crazy. He's almost like a Jeff Hardy Mankind. He sticks his body out for craziness. And the only injury he's had in the 3 years he's been doing it,
Terry Funk,
he's literally he's banged his elbow on the stairs. Perfectly honest, one of the best gimmicks recently in WWE times. He's basically when they bought the Fiend, but they mistreated him at the end.
Yeah.
In my opinion.
I've got that one. Do you know what? I don't buy the modern ones. But when I went to Smith's a couple of years ago when he first got released, I thought he's such a quality figure. And I love the lantern, the head lantern and stuff. He's one of the only modern wrestlers that I've bought.
Yeah. I've actually got like a face mask with the Fiend teeth on and that sort of stuff. Just for a face mask.
No, I thought that Bray Wyatt, the character, like once again, how did WWE let someone like Bray Wyatt leave? He's one of the.
Basically, I think because
what happened with that?
Passing, he just took it to him too hard, and he couldn't stop around.
Do you reckon that's what it was? Do you not reckon it was anything other than that?
No.
Because he was one of the only ones who had that creative side where you could tell he was trying to push his own stuff, and I thought he was one of the only ones you could really get behind, like in today's wrestling, and the fact he's now out of it. It's a shame, really.
At the moment, he's in movies because the big actor that made the Fiend mask itself.
Yeah.
He's actually doing a couple of movies or miniseries with like Bray Wyatt and that sort of stuff. I know in a couple of weeks' time that for the love of wrestling up in Liverpool, Bray Wyatt is actually signing autographs.
So do you reckon, is he not going to join AEW?
I don't know. The rumours
You
have
not
been
reckon?
swirling around the years, but at the moment, it's very hard to say. He's been
Shame,
now
innit?
long enough to
He's really good. Really
Yeah.
good.
There's certain wrestlers that it's like shocked, and he's one of the he's one of the underrated wrestlers, wasn't he? The modern
He's
era.
brilliant. He's brilliant. Like I say, I don't. There's not a lot worth watching on modern wrestling, but he was one of the few that, like I say, I don't mind. I didn't mind him at all.
You probably like he's I quite like Pentagon Junior.
I like Luchasaurus.
Yeah, I've got him outside, outside a bit, but yeah.
And Jungle Boy.
Luchasaurus used to be in NXT.
Yeah, in NXT, wasn't he? He's a beast. He is. To be fair, I think that look that he's got, that dinosaur look with the green tongue and that, and the mask and that. I think he looks freaky. He looks quality. I like it. I do.
So, if anything to see, then, if you could make one wrestler, past, present, or I wouldn't say future, but past or ultimate past, which wrestler would you choose?
Alive. I suppose the question is with wrestlers, alive or dead, Dave, as well.
Choose both.
So it would have to be. I'd love to meet Stone Cold Steve Austin. And do you know what? I'm going to surprise everyone. I would love to meet Vince McMahon. Love to meet Vince McMahon. I used to love it. To be fair, it's quite heartbreaking now to see Vince McMahon as like an old man.
Yeah.
Because he's getting on now, isn't he? And he's starting to look like he is an old man, and he's in his late 70s
the
or whatever.
Rumors at the moment for next weekend's WrestleMania.
Yeah.
That Stone Cold's coming back for that, which is against Kevin Owens. But he's supposed to have one more match. Stone Cold said he's got one more match in him.
Yeah.
And Pat McAfee versus this other guy at the moment.
Yeah.
But the storyline at the moment is Vince is supposed to be coming back for one more match as well.
I love that.
Pat McAfee at WrestleMania.
I would love that. I would love to see
that. I don't know
how
true it is, but I'd say Vince is like 75. But
do you guys, another thing? Do you guys ever watch on YouTube the those three Irish guys that do the reviews of the pay-per-views? Do you know them guys? OSW reviews.
No, the only ones I actually watch on YouTube is the Wrestle Talk.
Oh yeah, obviously, watch that. Yeah,
I've met Wrestling Days. There's another YouTuber called Wrestling Days.
Yeah, I know Wrestling Days. Yeah. To be fair, he's moved away a little bit now from wrestling. He used to be a big wrestling collector, didn't he? He used to do the toy hunts and stuff, but he mainly does like live sports live streams now, doesn't he? Like he does UFC and stuff like that now, doesn't he? He does a lot of that stuff. But yeah, I remember early when he wasn't massive, he had a few thousand subscribers, and he used to regularly talk to him on his YouTube channel. He'd answer my comments and stuff like that, and he'd interact with me and stuff. He's a good lad. He is.
Yeah, he's a pretty decent guy.
You say
but no, honestly, the only two guys I follow is like Wrestling Days, Wrestle Talk.
Yeah.
I do follow Zack Ryder and Kurt Hawkins, make Richard podcast.
Yeah, obviously I follow those.
Especially Zack Ryder at the moment, where he's got all the belts and bits and pieces.
Yeah.
But
Zombie Sailor Toys. Zombie Sailor, have you heard of him?
I do know there's another guy. I know perfectly honestly in AEW, there's a lot of people collect action figures and toys themselves.
Yeah, but if you was a wrestler and you had merchandise and wrestling figures made of you, you would collect them all, wouldn't you?
Yeah.
Some of them don't. Some of them aren't fussed. You'd want every figure of yourself ever released, wouldn't you?
You'd almost try and get the prototypes, wouldn't you?
Yeah. And you'd have access to them, surely. Yeah. You'd be in a position where you'd be able to get hold of that stuff if you wanted to.
Yeah.
You know, if you're going to make a figure of me, I want the prototype.
Because I know AJ went to the show and he spotted the prototype. He said, "Can I have the prototype?" And he said, "Yeah." You know, I know Zack Ryder's got the one collection, and Nathan Page from AEW is a big wrestling collector.
Well, to be fair though, Speaking of Zack Ryder, he basically owns every prototype going, I think.
They probably sells them as well.
Yeah, does he buy and sell them?
Yeah.
Yeah. He's got a mental collection. I bet his collection's worth so much money, Zack Ryder.
Occasionally he does do tours and bits and pieces collection. But at the moment he's collecting title belts because he's the NWA heavyweight champion.
Yeah, I know.
I think he's the Impact champion still, isn't he?
He's got a couple of independent titles as well, hasn't he?
I know there's a crazy independent company out there called CZW.
Yes. Is it CZW or something?
Yeah.
He's the champion of that, isn't he?
Yeah.
And I saw when he won the belt, they literally pelted the ring with. They were literally pelting the ring with stuff.
Yeah.
He had to like run for cover.
That was just crazy. That was just ridiculous and insane.
Yeah. Yeah. No, like I say, yeah, it's a shame really because I spend my whole time watching old school wrestling stuff on YouTube and online and stuff. I just don't really get involved in any of the modern stuff. So,
But I think even at the toy fairs, the modern stuff doesn't really sell. It's only the Hasbros, Gloobs, LGNs. That's
well,
what sells.
I collect the modern stuff, so I'm a massive elite collector, and I've probably got probably over 400 elites now. Yeah, and like I say, I'm running out of room to keep them. So, but obviously, I collect the modern elites, but of the old school wrestlers. Yeah, so the legends and stuff like that. I don't collect.
So I bet I'll tell you is that B&M's has got a sale on in a minute for some of the elites. There is some old school wrestlers in it as well.
Who's that, Barry? Sorry, who's that?
B&M's.
Yeah,
I don't know if B&M doing yours is the same as like up here in Scotland.
Yeah, this one, trust me.
B&M.
B&M bargains.
B&M's has got like all the wrestling stuff's all like, I think the standard ones, I think they're like for £10 down to like $6.99, and they've got the elites down to $19.99 down to $12.99.
They've got some good stuff, that B&M, don't they? They're like they've got some gems you find in there when you go there. It's like,
talk about B&M's is that B&M's is now they've got the Origin He-Man oranges in, right?
Have they?
They're selling the classic, the vintage head He-Man and Skeletor that was $14.99. Then it went down to $11.99, and I was in the day with my mum because my mum wanted to go and get some stuff for the dog. They've got them down to $6.99 now.
Really? Have they got what else have they got in there? The Origins.
The only
just
ones.
He-Man and Skeletor, but it's the reissue ones. As far as I know.
It's like, this is a vintage.
Yeah, I've got that one. Yeah, I've got that one.
They're just different heads. That's all they are.
Yeah, the series one, they've got the modern head, haven't they?
But the good thing with the one, my local one, they're unpunched, so I'm going to try and I need to find out where I can get the clamshells for these because I want to keep these ones. I want to keep these ones because I've got the Skeletor to add to the Skeletor army.
Do you think those Origins are ever going to become worth money? The fact that they are sort of remakes of the originals. Do you think they'll ever go up in value?
I want to say yes.
You reckon?
Yeah.
There's so many of them, though, aren't there? They're mass-produced, these, aren't they? They're everywhere.
Well, I'm still trying to find a trap jaw, and I can't find a trap jaw for under £20.
Really?
Problem is, Mr. C, with the new line, especially the wrestling ones you showed us behind, it's only like Rock and Roll Collectibles and other companies have brought them into the UK. The first line came out after 7 seasons got released. The problem is the UK does not release all the figures, especially like the Masters Universe, or very limited runs.
Yeah.
Like some of the old ones, like Orko from the first series, Scareglow.
Are they hard to get, those ones?
And boxes don't get released here in the UK.
Yeah, because it's weird, because like Smiths have certain ones, don't they?
It's like
that's where you need Rock and Roll Collectibles, ID toys, that sort of stuff to try and pick them up. But I know it's only like Rock and Roll that brings the new up to series 7 or 8, is it? No,
I think so. I think when Because ain't the
The
newest
new
ones.
series has got like the Andre the Giant in and that sort of stuff.
Yeah, I love the wrestling ones. I love the wrestling ones. Like I say, I've got the
There's
two
supposed to
old.
be, Mr. A mix and match with the Origins.
Yeah,
You
they
took them
did.
both off
Yeah,
cards. You can mix and match both all the parts
they're
together.
interchangeable, aren't they? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm like I say, I've got the two Ultimate Warrior ones, and that was what I wanted to start with. Obviously, I've got the Skeletor and He-Man Origins. So I am going to start building a collection of them, but I want to mix them, like a few of the wrestling ones, a few of the original Origin ones. So like the normal He-Man characters.
Like with the Origins, because they're customized, I mean, you can basically snap the arms off and put fucking and basically make your own.
Well, you can put Ultimate Warrior's head on He-Man's body, couldn't you?
Yeah.
Technically, you could, aye.
I'd
Yeah.
still say the best one for the wrestling one, honestly, I think it's probably Many Faces. Did you see that one, Mr. C?
Yeah, I've seen that one. Yeah.
Yeah, it's got
You
the
reckon-
3 New Day characters on it. It's
Yeah,
just
that's
that is
brilliant. It's
just
pink,
perfect
pink
work.
and light blue, isn't it? It's like this
Yeah.
brightly coloured as well. Yeah, do you know what I like as well? I've noticed Rock and Roll Collectibles have got them up. The Bret Hart as well, Series 7.
Yeah.
There's so many I want to get. The Mr. T one.
Mr. T is quite a hard one to see.
He's
I know
expensive.
it's Mr. T. Undertaker, there was a Scareglow version from Series 2 with the hard ones.
Yeah,
Mr. T is a hard one from back in the day.
he's expensive.
Yeah, it's
He
2 or
is.
3 of them now really expensive because they're limited run.
I'm going to try and get them all though. The Sergeant Slaughter from Series 7 I like.
Yeah.
There's a Kane that's going for pretty cheap. Some of the Macho Mans are pretty cheap.
Yeah.
There's a couple of Macho Mans to get. So, yeah.
It's
I am
kind
gonna
of
try and
weird
get
that
'em.
we never got them out here, but a lot of folk when they do their haul videos or they're going to do their show you what like Walmart's got and this has got. They had a lot of the WWE wrestling like slash He-Man, and they had them all reduced.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm
Yeah.
quite surprised that we haven't seen them in like B&M's over here yet or Home Bargains.
Thing is, I don't think you will. The weird thing is that what's his Stu said to me that apparently there's European cards.
Yeah.
Look. See, look, they've got that on the back, these ones. He said this is why Wrestling Shop are doing them for cheaper. They're the European imports. So he said that's why they're doing them cheaper. Have you got them? Did you get them from Wrestling Shop, Dave?
Yeah.
Have yours got that on the back?
Yeah.
Have yours got the
Sorry,
EU thing on it?
Yeah.
But they are English cards.
They came into clearance on a company, and literally the wrestling shop virtually took the whole stock off the company.
Yeah, they are English cards though. Like,
Yeah.
they're not foreign writing cards.
No.
But you get a sticker on them saying they've been imported into the EU by Mattel Europe.
The EU sticker, yeah.
And they've come from Amsterdam by the looks of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love them though. Like I say, I think they're brilliant. I don't know whether to open them or not. What do you reckon?
I'd almost open the first
Should I have them
Warrior and
loose?
leave the second one on. Because the first one you can still get off Wrestling Shop.
Do you reckon Wrestling Shop have got loads of them?
I know Warrior's one of the short packs in there, but it only comes in cases of 4. There's 1 Warrior per box. There's 4 in a box and there's 1 per box.
Yeah.
If I was you, check Wrestling Shop and still they're like 15, 20 quid on Wrestling Shop.
I reckon the wrestling ones will become worth money.
Yeah.
Oh,
Don't you?
definitely.
I reckon, yeah, they're going up in value already, aren't they, to buy them off
Yeah.
the
I know the
secondary
one I
market?
really wanted was the Fiend one, which is Series 4 or 5.
Is that hard to get?
I don't know. I've never looked into it. The only point is when we didn't get them in the UK, and I say Rock and Roll Collectibles, he's like, was it 30, 40 quid a figure?
He's so reasonable. He had a lot of them on sale. He has at the moment. He's got a lot of them on sale, like the Kane and that. Like he's got them up for 20 quid.
Yeah,
and things like that. So he does
like,
regular
don't
sales.
mind when you see him in America for only $10 each, it's a bit heartbreaking, isn't it?
Yeah, do you reckon they're still on the shelves and that over there?
I'd say no, because I know for a friend went to Florida at the beginning of the year, and he said the shelves are literally emptied bare. They've got nothing on the shops.
You know that they're moving now. They said they've stopped doing the He-Man ones, haven't they? But they're using the same bodies and stuff to do the new wrestling superstar lines.
Yes.
You seen those?
I know there's Shawn Michaels,
Yeah, you got
Raising
NWO
on
Hulk
Diesel.
Hogan. You got Hollywood Hogan. Yeah, Scott Hall.
They
they're
look
doing.
absolutely amazing.
They look really good. I don't know. I think they're going to be really limited and hard to get, though. I think, especially over here. I think.
Oh, especially the Scott Hall one, man. That's going to
Yeah, you're right.
They come with the
because of what's-
WCW belts as well, which makes it even worse for tag team belts.
Yeah, they're almost a bit like
I think the Shawn Michaels and Bulldog. Well, Shawn Michaels come with his chaps and everything else. He looks perfect, you know.
Yeah, but the bodies are like the He-Man Origins bodies, aren't they?
Yeah.
But they obviously moved away from being He-Man themed. But like, there's a nice Ric Flair one as well. Looks really good.
I think WWE Superstars. I think
Superstars they're called. Yeah, but the thing is with them, they're a bit like the old Remco.
Yes.
Style. Do you remember the old AWA Remco ones?
Mm-hmm.
They're a bit like that. So yeah. I'd like to get them, but then, like I say, there's so many elites that come out that I want to get. I focus on the elites, really.
Yeah, it's also like the kind of it's not like from wrestling and that, but kind of went through that one of the like the He-Man stuff. But they've also got there's another company, it's Funko, but it's Christ Savage. Is it Savage Lands or Savage
Land?
So they're also done. It's kind of be like a He-Man inspired thingy, but they've also done like these ones.
Well, that Mortal Kombat.
Yeah, same body as the rest of the ones you got behind you, Mr. C. They also did Thundercats, Freddy Krueger.
They basically done icons as well. They've done DC.
Yeah.
All the same bodies as Masters Universe Origins.
That's quite cool, isn't it?
Yeah.
That's quite cool.
Looking for the Joker so I could add to my Joker collection.
What's the main thing that you Baz? What's the main thing that you collect? What would you say is your main? What's your main interest?
Was Star Wars, but because of the prices of Star Wars stuff at the minute, I kind of went into different lines. So I still pick up the odd Star Wars stuff when it's a good price in that, but Star Wars prices have just went kind of through the roof, and it's getting hard to try and get stuff for Star Wars because I've pre-ordered a ton of stuff off of like Amazon and that, expecting to get it for the release date or a couple of days later, and then I get an email saying, "Sorry, we can't get this stock in. We'll give you an email when it hangs." And there was one thing I did keep a pre-order for, and it took them after pre-order. It took them 2.5 months to get it to me.
Really?
Because every time it was going in, it was just constantly. So it's like they've not bought enough stock to cover their pre-orders.
Yeah. So they're almost having to produce them to fulfill the orders
as
they go.
I think probably the biggest collection is probably my Transformers that's in another room.
Yeah.
Because I've probably got over like 1,000 Transformers.
Really? From like the original ones and stuff, like the.
No, majority of them are all kind of the newer ones. I have got a couple of reissue ones. I have managed to pick up the odd like G1 ones, but nothing for that. But
to be fair, they've done some nice re-releases of it, and that reaction and stuff have done them, haven't they? Like the Generation 1 like versions and stuff, like really cool. Yeah.
I had to pick up because I ended up picking up the Blaster pack. It's the reissue one because Soundwave is like my main Decepticon. I love Soundwave. Between Soundwave and Shock Blast, they two are my favourite. Then if you go to like the Autobots, I always love them and Rodimus. And Blaster is like my next kind of. I think it's because when you had that as a kid, it was basically looked like a cassette player.
Yeah, I remember. Yeah.
But back then, when you think about it, when you were only like that size, so this thing was as big as you, so you could be like the old style and just have it on your shoulder kind of thing. And
I used to like the Megatron, the gun. That was quality as well, like when you was a kid. Yeah, I remember that.
Just before we finish up then,
yes.
Just let you know, Baz asked me something. That's that Laserdisc, Baz, I got the other day.
Oh, the laser discs.
Wow.
That's kind of... Man, I know when we were young, when I was younger, we actually hired one of the Laserdisc players, kind of thing, when we were younger, and it was for Star Wars. Funny enough. I was like, it was like a record
giant,
player. It's
yeah.
like you half the movie on one side, and then you'd have to flip it around the other side
Because
to watch the rest of it.
they were supposed to be the
Next big
next thing, but DVDs sort of come along and sort of knocked it out, didn't they?
Mm.
That's supposed to be the Brock Lesnar of wrestling, but there you go.
Yeah.
Good segue, wasn't it?
Do you know what though? Aren't they doing a Dave? You probably know this, aren't they? Doing a Power Rangers Netflix?
Yes.
Yeah. Have you seen that Guardians thing on
That's the
Netflix as
series
well?
before Power Rangers.
I've started watching that, but it's confusing as hell.
Yeah.
It looks pretty mad, and you've got DDPs in it, isn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like they've put like the Avengers and the Justice League, and they've kind of mashed it up.
But it's like some bits of it are like animated and stuff.
I've started watching it. It is weird as hell, but it's like if you go with like the Justice League kind of thing, it's kind of cut, but this it's like a more brutal version.
Has it got good reviews?
I don't know. I've just started watching it. I was just kind of like I just seen the picture on YouTube, Netflix. It's like, oh fuck, okay. And I was sitting there and I'm like, the fuck am I watching? Kind of thing.
It does look pretty mad, but it looks like I don't know.
Is that you say, what the fuck is it? But it's like you kind of stop watching. You have to kind of keep watching until you find out exactly what the hell's going on. And it was like, well, this guy, and then you say, well, this guy here is trying to be Batman kind of thing. And it's like, the guy that's kind of died, he was like the Superman kind of thing. And then you've got like the last is like a Flash, and then like that. And it's like, the fuck am I watching?
It must be good though. If DDP's in it, it's got to be worth a watch. To be fair, if Diamond Dallas Page is in it, do you know what I mean? So, yeah. Well, like I say, guys, it's been lovely being on with you two tonight. I've really appreciated it.
Man. As I've said to you before, Chris, man, you're always welcome to come back whenever you.
Yeah, no, I appreciate it. Like I say, if ever you need me to come on, do a bit of a cameo appearance, mate, I'm always up for it. I'm always available for you boys. And like I say, it's been nice just coming on and having a dedicated show about wrestling. So
we're thinking of different things in the future, that sort of stuff. I say Monday we're doing a special Star Wars Echo Base live Q&A section for an hour. So if anyone's interested in going to the Star Wars next week at Redditch, it's a special Q&A on Monday night for an hour special. In the future, we haven't got a clue what's going to go on yet. We haven't worked what's what out yet. But no, Mr. C, if you want to say where we could find your Love Hammer section again. Yeah.
So, well, basically, anyone who wants to follow me, I'm on Instagram. So people can find me on there. And like I say, once a month, I will put up some very sexual pictures of myself. So that's worth subscribing for, basically.
So technically, one of these days, we might just get the actual Love Hammer figure to pre-order them. That's the dream.
They should do it. I've been speaking to Theo because Theo's into all that, and I keep saying to Theo, like, when are we going to get some Love Hammer? When are you going to design me some Love Hammer merchandise to sell? But he's not interested in it. He said if I get him 100,
if we ever got you to a show, we bring up some blow up hammers. You could sign them for us.
Yeah, I'd sign them.
Perfect.
Yeah,
okay, I'll arrange that.
What we need is, David, some big pink hammers.
Easy enough, perfect. That's easy enough, dude.
Yeah, that's the logo, the love heart with the hammer. So, yeah,
easy peasy. Well, you can find me at Dave World Toys on Facebook, Instagram.
I'll follow you on. Yeah, I'll follow you on social media.
Everything. So, Bazza, where can we find your little self?
I'm on Instagram. I'm on YouTube. I'm on Twitter at the Dark Shocker.
Dark Shocker.
I never got into Twitter. Never been on Twitter.
And then I have a lot of fun and games on from and TikTok as well. So I'm that like.
I love TikTok. Love TikTok.
The only thing I haven't done, and I probably won't do.
Like the collection stuff on that, So
Don't you think though? TikTok, some of the most hilarious stuff you'll ever see is on TikTok, and it's absolutely unbelievable. Don't get me wrong, I wouldn't put myself on it, but to watch other people making a show of themselves on it, I absolutely love it. I think it's brilliant.
And every so often is like if a decent app thing comes up with something to do with like Star Wars or Marvel or that, I kind of curious. This is like, well, what's going to pop up kind of thing. And then as I done the Star Wars one, it come up Jabba the Hutt, and I could not do nothing but fucking laugh.
So, well then, guys, enjoy WrestleMania next weekend. Thanks everyone for joining. Thanks, Brad, for the Warrior Foundation.
Cheers for watching.
Lobot and everyone else in the channel, absolutely amazing. Mr. C, it's been a pleasure,
guys.
mate.
Been a pleasure, guys.
We'll try and
Thanks
get
for having me.
The better half on next time as well.
Yeah, like I say, and also
the NWO. I was going to call him the NWO guy, the poison of the group.
He is the poison of the group, and like I say, just to give ourselves a little plug, we're talking about in May, only for 4 weeks, the 4 weeks of May. Me and Tom are probably going to do a series of live streams. So,
nice.
But look out for that. Yeah,
definitely.
Yeah.
When you know the date, let me or Baz know.
Yeah, like I say, you can help promote it for us.
Every
Yeah,
Thursday or something, 100%, mate.
Definitely. No, that'd be appreciated. Cheers, guys.
Thanks again, everyone. Everybody.
Cheers for watching.
Something different. So, thanks again, pal. Thanks, Bazza.
Well,
cheers,
until
guys.
Monday.
Till Monday.
Bye-bye.
9 o'clock.
Bye, everyone.